Successful kick for Granville Motley, bringing the score 7-0 for Granville Motley.
What are you up to? You gonna do warm-up?
Try Granville Motley. Score stands Granville Motley 12, Charlotte 19 0. And that brings us to halftime with the score Charlotte 19 0, Granville Motley 12.
ago, the opening tournament of the current HSBC Women's Sevens Series was in Dubai, and Australia ran riot.
Be a champion, and that's exactly what Australia have done in the Cup final. Your women's champions in Dubai, Australia.
From Dubai, we went down to South America and Sao Paulo. Different venue, same result.
Halia Murphy free. Oh, the old 1-2 punch sees the number 3 jersey go in, and Australia put both hands on the cup here in Sao Paulo. The cup winners, champions, Australia.
And from South America, right here north to Atlanta and Fifth Third Bank Stadium, where Australia are looking to make it 3 from 3. From there we go over to Langford in Canada before the final event of the current season takes us back into Europe and back to La France, Clermont-Ferrand, on May 28th and 29th.
Successful kick by Granville Motley brings the score to 19-0.
Yep. Yeah, perfect. Perfect. Okay. 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 Yes, Japan, Ireland is me, yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's right. Yes, so... Okay. Okay, no worries. All right, cheers, pal. What time are we on air? No problem. Yeah. Okay. No worries. Okay, brilliant. Okay. And you're very welcome back to Atlanta for the HSBC Women's World 7 Series here in America. Well, it's been a very entertaining tournament so far, and we have plenty more to come.
You've got to bring your game to be a champion, and that's exactly what Australia have done in the Cup final. Your women's champions in Dubai, Australia.
Well, from Dubai, we went over to Sao Paulo in South America. It was a different venue, but the same result.
Halia Murphy free. Oh, the old 1-2 punch sees the number 3 jersey go in, and Australia put both hands on the cup here in Sao Paulo. The cup winners, champions, Australia.
And from Sao Paulo over here to Atlanta, the 5th Third Bank Stadium, where we've had some brilliant rugby before we go to Langford and Canada for the penultimate round in West Hill Stadium, and then back all the way across to Europe, La France and Clermont-Ferrand, the Parc des Sports, May 28 and 29 to wrap it up. So that is the tour of the current series, and we've had some brilliant action here in Atlanta. Pool A, the group of death, England, Australia, Fiji and newcomers Colombia. In Pool B we had Canada, finalists in Sao Paulo, taking on France, Russia and Ireland propping up the table. And Pool C, the USA, New Zealand, Japan and the Spanish. So that's what the pools look like, and this was what was on offer. Well, Cup winners 20 points. Australia have taken that twice already to lead the standings on 40 points. Plate winners get 12. The bowl winners 4, all the way down to 12th place. Ireland have taken that on 2 separate occasions, and I'm sure hoping to go better this evening here in Atlanta. So that's what's on offer. Australia, the team to beat at the moment, and they've done it the hard way here after losing to England, coming all the way back to make the final with that impressive win against Canada. What a game that was as well. Plenty of tries on offer, some brilliant sevens rugby. And the 91 Women's World Cup winning team from the United States of America. Brilliant tribute for them in front of the home crowd here in Atlanta. And here are the highlights of day one. Sorry, Strip.
Canada and Russia.
Three forwards there were not reaching for the ball was Hannah Darling. Again, that wraparound movement there with Mileski breaks up midfield. Well, we've seen it once. This is going to be twice. Mileski, she's going to be pushed all the way, but she'll be in under the post. That's her second try. It's Canada's 4th try.
Team France and Team Ireland.
Well, penalty advantage. Got to keep the tackles down. Mulhall wastes no time. Quick tap and go for the Irish. Captain and thumper! A rib buster in midfield from Maya. We can feel that one and hear that one all the way up here in the commentary box. And France looking to take full advantage. The tackle's missed, and they are going to take full advantage. Fourcade stretches the legs. I can tell you that Stacey Flood is in a heap on the halfway line. That was a thumping tackle, and it led to the French try.
The ball's found favour in the French hands, so there's a definite overlap here on the wide outside. Gurang surely in for a try. It is Lina Gurang. So the second half here of this Pool B game between Canada and France.
Played. Backwards. Forwards.
The knock-on from France picked up by Jennifer Kish, and Kish just strips the French defence apart, and in under the post to go. It was route one, and Jen Kish with another cracking try.
Martiak trying to break out of the 22, breaks one tackle there. Much pace has she got? Too much for the Irish defence. Any minute to come back. Can't get her first time. And the pop pass. Beautiful hands. Zandrakova is going to touch down underneath the posts. Beautiful try by the Russians. That's the first taste of action in possession, and they punish Ireland ruthlessly.
Please welcome to the field Australia and England.
And the tap and go by Emily Cherry then. Parry. Quirk gets back in, and the inside angle is good by Sharon Parry, but an excellent tackle from England. Chloe Dalton for Australia. Now Kaslik steps back in. Kaslik gets the support, and that's a super work try from Australia. Good response from them from the initial try by Heather Fisher for England. The quick tap and go then. Reynolds Richardson was sharp. She's made the pass there to Claire Allen. And the handoff here is good. And Emily Scarrett, well, she's the skipper of this English team and certainly showing the lead on that occasion.
Another tackle goes in, this time from Lopez, and Fiji going to spread this ball wide. Chance to move it here. Tavo, Rebecca Tavo gets the pass away to Tisolo. She's on a hat-trick. Tisolo stretches the legs, and look at that for pace, and a brilliant tackle back inside to Tavo. Pick off the ground like you wouldn't believe, and this is Fiji rugby, and it's absolute beautiful magic best. And Medina tries to recycle possession. No, again the whistle and the advantage has been played to Australia. Tonigato, it's not going to be 5, is it? It's 5 for the number 5. Emma Tonigato, take a bow.
England very impressive in their opening victory over Australia. Sue by 21 points to 7, and straight away Natasha Hunt breaks down that far side. One more's on the outside. The pace of one more into the corner, but a great tackle, attempted tackle by Fiji. But one more, I talked about the pace at the start of the game.
Vantage offside. Vantage over.
Dutoy gets the pass out to Charlotte Kaslik. Kaslik, look at stretching the legs. Dutoy is in support, but Charlotte Kaslik, wonderful try. A length of the field effort there from Charlotte Kaslik.
Please welcome to the field Team New Zealand and Japan.
Fitzpatrick. This is now Williams. Oh, a lovely little breakout here from New Zealand, and it's just pure class from New Zealand to score the second try. Sherry Tani.
Where is she? 7.
Barivalala. Doyle, nice pass on the outside. Chabonet, ball back inside to Doyle. The 9-12 combination, and Lauren Doyle says, "See you next time. I'm in for my second." Touchdown. Brilliant play by the United States.
Doyle playing at the scrum half. Barivalala breaks a wonderful pass onto Alav Kelter, and Kelter stretches her legs. Can she go the distance? Yes, she can. USA in for the opening score, and Kelter dumps the ball down. And here's the pace being added then from New Zealand to it. Oh, lovely inside pass to Sherry Tani, and Tani cuts an angle. Ball into Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick, well, super try. Winiata gets it. Ball won by the United States. Here's Stevens. Here's Doyle. Doyle has Javelin. Javelin's the speedster. She cuts back against the grain. Now there's the gap. Javelin. What a run by Javelin. What a try for USA. Jessica Javelin. The quality of the running. Looking at the space, cuts back, and then pins her ears back.
That's right, she was marked on the left-hand side, had to cut back in field, and then outstretched every single New Zealand player.
Yeah, that was Jessica Javelin saving the best for last there. United States beating New Zealand to book their place in the quarterfinals of the Cup. And the draw in the last 8 went something like this. England against Russia in the opener, then Canada against Fiji. We had the United States against Australia, that was a mouthwater, and France against New Zealand. 4 very interesting clashes. This is how it went down.
So Russia and England take the field here in Atlanta for the first Cup quarter-final. Knockout rugby, folks, here on the Women's 7 Series. And here comes Scarrett. Takes the angle. Scarrett has all the power and play. Well, that was good by England. Kudanova back into Ariya Filistrova. Oh, the handoff by Kudanova. How important is she to this Russian team? Her second try of the day for the Russian skipper. And Russia competing for the ball on the floor, but illegally, says referee Alhambra Nivas. The quick goal by Hunt. Hunt releases the ball back to her captain Scarrett. Now Alice Richardson. Oh, another kick for Watmore. Watmore, can she gather the ball and go over the line? Yes, she can, and that will be the winning score for England. Surely they will now be into the semi-final.
And here we go, the quarter-final between Canada and Fiji in the blistering sunshine in Atlanta on day 2. What have they got from here to switch the play? Back inside for Molesky. 2 outsider. Landry has 1. Tries the handoff again. Successful. Run get that. Trying to marshal it. Look at the strength from Landry. That ball is down. Is it a try? It is. Well, look at that. Ghislaine Landry. And Molesky to get this out under pressure for Mungeta. And Landry 2 times. She's on a hat-trick, is she? She is on a hat-trick. Will she get it? They won't catch her from there, surely. Ghislaine Landry is going to get 3 inside the first 6 minutes of the first half. Hat-trick secured. And it's all Canada's number 9 at the moment. What a try.
So the teams enter the field here in Atlanta. USA to the left of your picture. The Australians, of course, wearing the canary yellow. Charlotte Cassie, ball in 2 hands. Tony Gatto. Well, is she going to get another try? Beautiful show and go, and round she goes to dot the ball down. Well, she is a try-scoring sensation, this youngster.
Try Australia.
Emily Cherry then attacks. Ball in hand, Amy Turner. Dutoy's on the outside. Dutoy, just clever, uses her pace, uses her skill. Oh, what a wonderful try by Dominique Dutoy.
So, France against New Zealand and the last remaining place in the semi-final of for grabs. The telling stat is that France have never beaten New Zealand in 7 attempts. Two on the left, little step and show there from Williams. The pass is beautiful, the offload. Blythe is going to score, but Williams, like her older brother, beautiful hands, puts Blythe in the corner. Fitzpatrick to Williams, little step and show, needs help to try and get this away. There's the offload again from Williams. It's a family trait. And the try for New Zealand. Touchdown Back to Simpkins, only just onto the pitch, and that is clinical. Yeah, brilliant. New Zealand rounding up the quarterfinals there, and they booked their place into the semi-finals. The first one, England against New Zealand, and then Canada, Australia, a repeat of the Sao Paulo final. Here's how they went.
The field, England and New Zealand.
Richardson opts to kick downfield. Cover will come from Salika. Winnie after on that pass, but it's bounced favourably for England. And England are going to open up the scoring. Amy Wilson-Hardy, plenty of gas, and she scores a try in the opening minute for England. Teresa Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick throws the ball to Tui. Tui's got Goss, her skipper, on the outside. Goss steps back in. She's cutting an angle. Can she get to the line? Sarah Goss for New Zealand. Wonderful experienced line from the New Zealand skipper. And Winnie after just happy just to set the structures as Goss, wearing that number 5 jersey, she sets up that position in midfield. Portia Woodman. This is Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick has a show, and she goes and unselfishly delivers a try to Portia Woodman. Shuri Tani, the try scorer at scrum half, then restarts the game. Trina Simpkins. Ball there to New Zealand. Is there a try in the corner? Yes, there is, and surely that will take New Zealand into the final. Natasha Hunt to Katie McLean. Here's Heather Fisher. McLean and Fisher in unison. Oh, great insight pass. Well, that's one of the best tries I think we've seen this weekend. Abby Brown in under the post, and it just goes to show that England do have the attacking threat.
It is our cup semi-final, and it is Australia against Canada. The Aussies go and spread this one wide. Cherry on the outside of Kaslik. She's going to have to go on her own here. She breaks the tackle, and off she goes! Charlotte Kaslik underneath the post. Farella, pass to the outside. Landry, we know she's got pace. Can she beat Tony Gatto? Landry sets off. 2 in pursuit. She's the quickest player on the pitch because Kaslik can't stop her. Tony Gatto couldn't catch her. And Canada are back in the game. First half, all Aussies. Second half so far, Canada dominating, and Tony Gatto to try and turn the screw. Dummy from Tony Gatto, still going, and the outside for Cherry, and Cherry is going to win the race. Australia strike back. You cannot take your eye off this game for a millisecond. Cherry only has Tony Gatto outside, and she doesn't need her. Sold her up the river. Australia, this was Cherry Sealand. Hands won't do it. Tony Gatto for the corner. How was that pass? It was okay, says the referee. And that surely is that. The dummy from Charlotte Parry. The finish from Tony Gatto. Who else? Yeah, she's got to be in the running for player of the tournament. Emma Tony Gatto, sensational here in Atlanta. This is what's coming up over the next hour or so. We have the bowl final between Japan and Ireland. We have France, Fiji as well. Russia, United States. England will play Canada, and New Zealand against Australia. Battle of the Southern Hemisphere teams. So this is how the series tables look after 2 rounds, and of course points will be added at the end of this tournament tonight. Australia leading the way, 2 wins from 2. They are the team to beat. Can they make it 3 in a row? New Zealand, the former superpowers, at the moment having to settle for joint second place alongside Canada, but they will go ahead of Canada today regardless of how they get on in that final. France, England and Russia, the European contingent then, and all the way down to Spain, Japan and Ireland. Ireland are going to improve their position, but how much? Because they play Japan. Well, here we go. Point scorers in terms of the series so far. Emily Cherry topping the standings with Ghislaine Landry. The two of them side by side, all the way down to Kudanova from Russia. But as far as Atlanta is concerned, in this tournament over the last 2 days, Tony Gatto, Emma Tony Gatto from Australia, all of those tries, by the way, Landry as well, and Emily Scarrett with 5 tries to her name so far. So, confirmation of what is to come. First up, we have the bowl final. Ireland, well, how much will they love to get their hands on some silverware? They must get past Japan to do so, and that's coming up in a few minutes' time. So the crowd still here in their numbers. The beautiful sunshine continues to come down in Atlanta, and they are looking forward to the series of matches to come. The silverware on offer. This is the business end of the tournament here in Atlanta. And first up, we have our bowl final. It's game 30 in Atlanta. It is Japan in 11th against Ireland in 12th. And it'll be an interesting battle between these two. Played just once previously, and that was Ireland emphatic winners by 33 points to 0. Will it go something similar? I doubt it very much. That is the starting teams, and Ireland, Ashley Baxter out injured at the moment, so they only have 4 replacements. O'Flynn starts along with Williams and Flood. Again, they've gone for Ali Miller on the bench. Why not change it? Because they worked so effectively last time out. The Japanese, well, Yoko, a couple of tries to her name. Nakamura, the captain. Fascinating battle.
Please welcome to the field, Japan.
Teams out for the bowl final in Atlanta. Ireland against Japan. And the crowd that are here lending itself to the atmosphere. Japanese, as is tradition now, getting themselves used to the rough and tumble that is to come in this physical game that is sevens rugby. Ireland straight into a huddle. Anthony Eddy pleased with their performance last time, the win against Spain. But Japanese, that's the tail of the tape so far. They got past Colombia after beating Spain, so they're going for 3 wins in a row. Ireland, on the other hand, have only 1 win from their last 4 games. That was the crucial one against Spain after burying yesterday's disappointment and poor form from day one. England international Sue Day is beside me as we get confirmation of our referee for this afternoon's game, Eri Perrott. And Sue, Ireland against Japan, whichever team wants this more, you feel, is going to get the job done today.
Both teams are going to want this, there's no doubt about that. It's been a disappointing tournament for Ireland, but you know, it's a close game at the end of yesterday against Russia, and a really good performance against Spain, so they'll have their tails up. Japan, as you say, 3 possible wins in a row.
Well, that one went straight down the middle. I don't think Lucy Mulhall intended that, because all Ireland's runners were on the left-hand side of the pitch. Williams, O'Flynn and Naupu. I think it just came off the inside of her boot and boot. But Japan with possession just shy of the halfway line. So a little show and go from a scrum half. There was an interception opportunity there, came off a foot and then knocked on, so Ireland would have advantage as Audrey O'Flynn picks that one off the deck, looks for Williams, and the pass was stiff and Mulhall have to take that off the ground. Murphy Crowe, outsider, has to go in and recycle possession here. Williams presenting herself for the pass, but had to get in support there for Kim Flood. 2 of them on the pitch for Ireland, Stacey and Kim. 3 and 10. Naupu trying to go straight up the middle. It's a feature of her play, sucks in 2 defenders. If they get quick ball, it works, but that time they got turned over, and it's no time to waste here. Japan trying to use this one quickly. Runners on the outside, trying to step in. Yoko tackled 5 metres short. Still there for Japan, taken up this time by Nakamura, the captain. Needs a bit of help though, still on her feet. Ball at the back there from Kuai. They're going to go wide here. This is Suzuki with the pass on the outside. Race for the line, Yamaguchi. Just short. Oh, brilliant try-saving tackle from Mulhall. Went backwards and the pop pass is there. And Yamanaka scores for Japan. Well, full of pace in the opening 90 seconds. And Yamanaka, her first try this weekend.
Yeah, it's good backing up from Yamanaka. Mulhall makes the tackle just about. They all count as long as you get hold of something and bring them down. But the offload off the ground was a good one, wasn't it? Yamanaka picks it up because that all came because this play is all the way on one side of the pitch. Then Japan managed to spin it all the way back to the other end. You've only got 7 defenders covering the pitch. It's a big old space to cover. Japan managed to stretch the Irish defence enough.
So Japan strike first in the bowl final, and conversion to come. We're all the way from the corner. I tell you what, you could put another 20 gears on that one and it still wouldn't have reached But it doesn't matter. Japan have 5 points on the board, and happy faces for Kiko Asami, the Japan coach. Ireland want to try and get back into this one. They went 5-0 down against Spain, don't forget, and managed to claw their way back.
They did. It was a really good performance against Spain. Once they'd shrugged off that early score against them, they played the best rugby they've played all tournament.
So Japan giving chase. Audrey O'Flynn underneath it. What about that for a take from the Irish number one? And look at that, pumping the legs to the halfway time. Brilliant strength in the carry. Ireland want quick ball. Are saying we can't get quick ball, and Japan impeding. Penalty against Williams. Gets on with it, and there for Flood now. Mulhall, little step up for inside. Mulhall, Lucy Mulhall, lovely break there for Flood. Williams in the middle, 2 to bring her down. Little break in the middle. Kim Flood, or Stacey Flood I should say, still there. Oh, Murphy Crowe can't hang on, went backwards. That's Kim Flood, tries the elbow off as opposed to the hand off. Referee says no problem. Naupu with the dummy. Naupu still going, kicking the legs, needs help and gets it. Mulhall to tidy up, still there for Ireland. Murphy Crowe, if the pass goes, if the pass goes, it didn't go, and Japan have stolen possession. Well, that was criminal from Ireland, and Japan trying to get this one away. Possession key, they're keeping it tight. Tackle goes in from the Irish captain. Sene Naupu says thank you very much underneath the post, and Ireland strike back.
Well, Sene Naupu has spared the blushes of Amy Lee Murphy-Crowe there. There was a 2-on-1 for Ireland. As it is, Naupu gets in there and just steals the ball in the tackle, doesn't she? Brilliant work. But Ireland had just given away an easy 2-on-1 opportunity before that.
So Mulhall adds the extra 2. That was all upper body strength from Sene Naupu, living in Galway, playing club rugby with Connacht, and Ireland strike back 7 points to 5. Are they Irish, do you think, or did they just steal that flag? I'll go with the latter. 2 minutes left to play, end-to-end stuff. Japan with the first, Ireland with the second. Very little between them, and Mulhall gets us back underway. That one hanging high, and chance for Flood to get up there. Williams after it. Japan settle down, want to keep possession here, and a dummy! Sold again, thank you very much. That'll be $10 even. Ireland give away the penalty, not releasing the tackler. Audrey O'Flynn, the guilty player. Quick tap and go this time from Kuai. Gets the pass away. Nice hands here. Oh, delayed it, but oh, if it would have been lovely if it gone to hand. But Yamaguchi keeps it alive. Little dummy and show there from Suzuki, and the pass as well is good. Tomita tackles, still there. Yuko drifting pass on the outside. Chance to step from Yamanaka. She has one already. She won't get 2 on this occasion. Ireland get the numbers across. There's nobody blindside though. If Japan pick and go blind, Mulhall back on her feet to seal off the danger down that blind side. But they've gone, and the pass, it should be there. Beautiful try. Japan over again, and we're going to see a card as well for Ireland, so a double whammy. Sue Day, what about that?
Yeah, it was good vision from Japan, a little bit of inexperience from Ireland defending around the fringes. It's all very well spreading wide, but you've got to cover the defence around the fringes. First they didn't, left the space for Japan.
So here was the build-up, and Japan just patience really in attack, wasn't it?
Yeah, and you can see there just was no cover around the fringes, which allowed Kuai to get through.
That was the conversion attempt. No joy though. So it's 10 points to 7, 3 points to gap, and Ireland are going to have to play the next couple of minutes with just 6 players. So anytime they can eat up with possession in hand. Naupu, already one try, lovely handoff as well to Stacey Flood, and there's Mulhall, gets the pass away. Murphy Crowe, a couple of tries for her in the last game against Spain, a semi-final, and crucial they were too. Mulhall to O'Flynn, doesn't want to get isolated here, but manages to suck in two. Japan have to leave that on the ground, and there's Murphy Crowe. How much pace has she got? Kicks the legs and going to try and win this one. Murphy Crowe with the handoff. Ireland, with only 6 players on the pitch, get their second try, and Amy Lee Murphy Crowe jots down. Looks like she took a bit of a knock to the ribs on the way to that one. Her 3rd try this weekend, and that's the perfect response.
Brilliant from Ireland, brilliant vision. First of all, they're moving it out into the open spaces. Lucy Mulhall manages to get that pass away. They don't get the knock on, they recycle it and realise that there's space down the blind side, and Amy Lee Murphy Crowe shows off a bit of that pace that she's got, finishes it off for Ireland with only 6 on the pitch. Not bad.
Well, the conversion off the post, and that will be the last action of the first half. So Ireland, even despite being reduced to 6 players, they lead here by 12 points to 10.
Take a deep breath right now. Stop panicking, deep breath right now.
Okay, listen up, girls. We've got a minute left on this sin bin, so we control possession for a minute. We get possession early, we control it nice and tight for a minute, all right? And then we get back to 7 players, okay? Attack, I want us to go forward, all right? So we can go forward just around the ruck, we can go forward by shifting it, we can get them going backwards with strong physical carries. We have to chase in. I want more support than what we've got at the moment, so then we can shift the ball. You can run them around, all right? You can run straight through them and you can run them around, just as we did there. There's space for us all the time, all right? They've got to commit numbers to get us down on the ground. Defensively, more discipline. I don't want you sticking your head in there if you're not going to come out with a football. You have to show discipline. You've got to show respect for what our principles are. You've got to show respect for your teammates in that regard. Because if you don't come out with the ball, they've got to do your job, all right? So absolute discipline in our defensive line. Let's go.
Big minute here, girls. Big minute. Ears open, right? 1, 2, 3, Ireland! That's it, girls. When I sprint on him, is on. Get out quick, come on.
So we're just about set for the second half. Anthony Eddy wants discipline from his team. He wants them to control possession for the first minute of the second half because they're still down to 6. And we're underway. Japan playing from right to left. Williams gathers. Had to keep her eye on that one. Under pressure because Japan had a wall of players coming up here. Little step and a nice hand from Stacey Flood. Mulhall asking for ball protection. They went forward though, referee playing advantage. And that's exactly what Ireland did not want today.
No, they listened to the instruction initially, kept it tight, but it was just a mistake in the breakdown. Quite why she's trying to pick that up again, I'm not sure. Just take it to ground, clear out, move it again. But they're back to 7 now, at least.
Saved by the bell. All about defence here. Japan with 2 players at the back of the scrum standing right behind each other. You can see single file almost. So this a pre-rehearsed move. Referee says you must be at least 5 metres back.
Crouch. Bind. Set.
Interesting to see what Japan up their sleeve from here. Here's the pre-rehearsed move. They're trying to break the tackle and get the pass away. Good, solid Irish defence. Ball there now for Yamanaka, the try scorer. Yoko with the scrum cap. Got the pass. And they keep it alive as well. Going for the corner is Yamaguchi. Yamaguchi tries to step. Still with the ball. And she hits the deck eventually. Ireland doing just enough to keep them out. This game is end to end. Anybody so far. Tanako with the pass on the outside. Crunching hit from Mulhall. Had to be made, that tackle. Still there. And it's Takano, the big number 5 for Japan. Ireland having to hold that defensive line. Ball was out, says the referee. Williams with a cruncher, and she forces the knock on. Take that. Mulhall back on her feet. Ireland get the penalty. What about that for a hit from Megan Williams? Referee said the ball was out, Sue. Good night, good luck.
Yeah, once the referee said that, it's fair game. The player has her hands on the ball, so Megan Williams quite entitled to tackle her. It's quite a crunch.
Well, Ireland up the line, decided to take the line out, and they'll have the put in here. Again, it's an area that they're quite proficient at. Megan Williams going to jump. And watch Sene Nupu crash up the middle here. Japan miss a tackle, she will be gone. So Flood to throw. Williams gathers. Nice take, ball off the top. There from Mulhall, pass right in front of her. She might have a fancy go herself. Nupu through the middle. Nupu kicking the legs to the halfway line. Still there from Mulhall. Options on the right hand side. Williams stepped and needs help. Carries it 2 hands into contact. Japan trying to wrestle that ball. Ireland just about get away with maybe holding on a little bit too long there. Back from Nupu, still there. And again, Japan struggling to get their hands on this ball. Inside 4 minutes to go, Ireland just leading by 2. Mulhall kicks clear. Mulhall still going. Needs to be put down. Japan, defence being tested. Now 2-on-1 here. This is an opportunity. Williams to O'Flynn. Audrey O'Flynn is going to score for Ireland. They've got one hand on this ball. She can take all the time in the world. Audrey O'Flynn for Ireland. She's had a bruiser of a tournament, and that is going to bring the smile to her face. The first try of the weekend, Sue.
Yeah, it's in the hands of Megan Williams here. It's 2-on-1. She takes the right option, Megan Williams. It's a bit of a loopy pass, but once it's gone to Audrey O'Flynn, there was only one result. She's had a great tournament, Audrey O'Flynn. Most of it in the contact area, most of it making metres forwards for her team. That time, scoring the try.
Well, Ireland push 9 points clear. Audrey O'Flynn and Anthony Eddy, well, is that a smile? He can't afford to smile yet, and still looks a little bit anxious there as Ireland regroup and get ready to start again.
I think he's just got the sun in his eyes. A couple of minutes left to go, still the nerves will be jingling.
Well, if Japan were to score quickly here, it'd be game back on. So Ireland, I'm sure, will contest this. It's all about the high-hanging restart from Lucy Mulhall, the captain. That gives her team every opportunity. Up they go now. Boo leaves it. Ireland come back with it, and they have advantage. O'Flynn. Mulhall spots the gap. Mulhall through the gap. Lucy Mulhall for Ireland. What a try. Captain leading the way from County Wicklow. 2 minutes to go. That surely today is the icing on the cake.
Anthony Eddy can afford to smile now. I think Lucy Mulhall has had an excellent game for Ireland. Put some thumping tackles in, pulled the strings as a playmaker in the middle, and then when she sees a gap, puts her head down and powers through it. Surely there's no way back for Japan now. A really, really strong, complete performance from Ireland that Anthony Eddy will be really happy with, I think.
Well, she spotted the mismatch in midfield, put her head down and said, "Thank you very much, brilliant try." Well, it's a remarkable turnaround from yesterday. I'm sure spirits in the camp were pretty low after 3 consecutive defeats, but this is a different level and a different Ireland team we're seeing today.
That's sevens for you, isn't it? You can have a really good first day and then bomb on the second. You can have a terrible first day and then turn it all around. That's exactly what Ireland have done. Turned it around.
Japan still fighting. We've got just over a minute left to play. Yoko tackled well though. Flood hits her hard from behind. Japan happy to keep possession and try. They're looking the outside. I tell you, good strong running there from Taniguchi, but the ball squirts out into touch. Ireland can see the penalty.
Penalty awarded to Japan.
Quick tap from Japan. Mitsugi. Yoko. Nakamura, the captain. Nice hands from Japan. Yamanaka just about back. Flat, if anything, you'd have to say. Ireland having to defend now inside the 22. Result is not in doubt, but Japan still fighting right to the end. Ireland with their second ever highest total in the 7 series, 26 points. So a strong way to finish this tournament here in Atlanta. Japan trying to find a try to finish with their strength from Takano. Ball at the back with Kuai. Yoko trying to size up any space on the outside number. Tackle from Claire Keohan, and pick off the deck from Kuai. Japan trying to get one last score. Pass from Taniguchi, and we are going to have a try. Well, it has come. Mitsugi touches down to finish this off for Japan. It's not going to matter though, her first try of the weekend.
Yeah, nothing more than a consolation for Japan, but a great moment for Mitsugi to get over the line.
So conversion attempt then from Yamanaka. Scored the opening try for Japan. They must have thought, hey, this could be our day, but since then Ireland have been very impressive. This one isn't going to go over. So that will be that for Japan. The final whistle goes, and Ireland can celebrate as bowl champions for 2016 here in Atlanta. And look what it means to them. 2 bottom place finishes, both in Dubai and Sao Paulo. And finally, they managed to get their hands on some silverware.
Yeah, it's a big turnaround from Ireland. The last 2 tournaments have been disappointing. Yesterday was disappointing, but to be able to take that disappointment, turn it round and turn it into some really strong performances today shows the spirit of the Ireland side. And there's Naoku, she's had an excellent tournament, hasn't she? Really taking the ball forward for her team.
Sene Naupu back in the 7 squad after helping Ireland to their Six Nations campaign in the 15s game, and she was very effective there. Plays it inside centre, and she loves the 7s game, as does Ali Miller, also back into the squad. Didn't see her get on in that final, but she has had a tough few games yesterday. Took a lot of knocks, bumps and bruises, and I'm guessing that contributed to that. But it's great to see Ireland lift the performance levels from yesterday, and it just goes to show, as you said, Sue, you've got to play over 2 days. There's no point putting one shift in here. 2 days is what counts in this game.
It certainly is, and it's one of the biggest psychological challenges of Sevens. You have to get yourself up for a game, then you have to relax, then up for the next game, then relax, and then there's a psychological challenge overnight. If you've had a pretty poor first day, how do you get yourself back up? And certainly Ireland have managed to get over the disappointment of yesterday.
And spare a thought as well for Louise Galvin at home, nursing that broken leg, and also Emer Considine as well, who are not here and who took part in the opening 2 series in Dubai and Sao Paulo. They will be absolutely delighted for their 7s teammates here. I'm sure they wish they could be here, but there will be other days, and Ireland, I'm sure, have aspirations beyond the bowl, albeit today they're happy. That final victory against Japan, very impressive as well, 26 points, and that's what they have won.
Sorry, I've been told to wait. Sorry, ladies, I'm being told to wait. Sorry, where's the captain?
So the presentation almost set to go, and the captain is Lucy Mulhall. She will take it, and Ireland bowl winners for 2016 here in Atlanta. Well, they'll enjoy this one tonight. They can relax this evening, maybe have a drink or 2, and then it's preparation time for Langford next week. All these players, don't forget, I mean, a lot of them coming from different backgrounds, and I can't stress that enough. We have basketball players, Gaelic footballers, camogie players, hockey internationals, and I can guarantee you, Sue, that if the investment comes from the IRFU into this game, Ireland will get better and better as the years go on.
Yeah, there's no shortage of effort put into training by these guys. You've got to think they're coming from different sports. Loads of them really inexperienced at rugby, and it takes a while to really break your way into a new sport and to play it instinctively. You have to play instinctively at the highest level because there's no time to play otherwise, and they've done brilliantly, really. You know, they've not had long in the World Series, and to be winning the bowl today, you know, who knows where it will be this time next year.
Ashley Baxter there, you can see on crutches. She couldn't take any part today, so Ireland only with 4 players on the bench, and doesn't look too serious, obviously, the crutches, but hopefully she'll be okay, maybe even for Langford next week. We'll have to wait and see, but Irish eyes smiling at the moment, and it's a good way to finish for all the coaching staff, support staff as well.
I had to go. I had No, you're fine. I'll just let you know.
So just confirmation of the next game coming up, France against Fiji. Should be an interesting battle. I mean, Fiji need to up their game, no question of it. And let's have a look at one of the stars of the Fijiana team.
My name is Ana Maria Rongida. I'm Fiji Sevens captain, and this is my 7 in 60. My friend just call me Ana. Short name from Ana Maria, Ana. I miss my family a lot, because I always love them being there for me, supporting and cheering for me. Litia Ningato, we always call her Arnold, the tall one. Yeah. I won't answer that because coaching. I love to do coaching after I leave rugby. Zen Bolt, Ian Thorpe, and the netball is the shooter one. That will be my dream come true. So I celebrate with my friends and family.
So the words of Ana Maria Rongida there from Fiji. So let's just, as a quick reminder, look at the points that are on offer here in the Atlanta Sevens. For the cup winners, 20 points. The runners-up will get 18. Third, 16. Fourth place, 14. Right the way down to 12th place. So the bowl winners, we just saw Ireland pick up a very handy 4 points to get them off the bottom of the main Sevens series table. So as well as the men's sevens that are on in Hong Kong at the moment, there's also the women's series, and in the summer we're looking forward ahead to the World Under-20s Championship.
The World Rugby Under-20 Championship.
The hero of South Africa,
Jan Serpentine.
Jack Noah. Away goes Clifford.
Watson is over!
Pablo Matera has done the business.
A little step through from Pollard. And this is going to be another try. Too easy for Ringrose. Jesse Crean. Perfect finish.
Banani so powerful.
The Wales captain, Sam Warburton. Bigger. It's all over.
David Pocock, captain supreme. Savea, and look at that.
Well, that's the 15s game. The World Rugby Under-20s Championship will be held in England, but back to the sevens action. That's why we're here in Atlanta. This game is the 7th-8th playoff game between France and Fiji. These teams have played each other on 4 occasions. France have won 3, Fiji have won once. They last played in Sao Paulo on the plate. France won that one 17 points to 5. Well, as we've seen throughout this tournament, France, their squad has been rotated. Keep an eye out for Marjorie Meehan's, a big hitting forward wearing that number 3 jersey, and Caroline Ladanu wearing the number 7 jersey. She scored 4 tries in this tournament. Well, it's been a hard day for Fiji at the office on this second day, but Litia Nyagato wearing that number 1 jersey, the tall one.
Please welcome to the field, France and Fiji.
Fiji enter the field of play in the 7th-8th playoff on wearing the traditional white jerseys. France in blue. French emblem proudly on the shirts of the French team. And Fiji, well, you can see the right of your picture with the headband is Litia Nyagato, the tall one. And France, well, this is their route through to this 7th playoff. It's been disappointing for them, losing 3 games on the trot, the last one in pool play yesterday against Canada by 12 points to 17. For Fiji, however, well, they're hoping to improve upon their performances against Canada and the United States. They conceded 29 points to Canada without reply and 38 against USA. A dispirited Fijian team. Sarah Cox will referee this one in the middle. The 7th playoff here in the Atlanta Sevens. Clémence Gossier starts the action, and Fiji, well, can they respond? Chris Cracknell, we were speaking to him earlier on, and for Fiji, they just have lost their confidence on day 2 here in Atlanta. And can they respond after 2 poor performances? We know the sevens that Fiji can play. They will always attack, but when the heads are down, things sometimes don't go your own way. Alongside me, Scott Hastings in the commentary box, I should say, is Dallin Stanford, who played for the US Eagles. Oh, charge down here for France, and Marjorie Mayans, well, I thought she was going to go in from the charge down, and a penalty try being awarded by referee Sarah Cox. Well, talk us through that one, Dallin Stanford.
Wow, we're seeing a yellow card right now. Player goes to the sin, but as soon as we see the replay, we can see exactly what happened there. But referee Cox had no doubt in her mind, so there's the charge down. Oh, and then pulling back the player, yes, holding back. And the one, Rongweta, the most capped player in the squad, will have to watch from the sideline for 2 minutes.
Grab her a water if you would.
Yeah, Maria Rongweta holding back the French player, denying them the opportunity for the try. So quite rightly, Sarah Cox awards a penalty try under the post. The conversion is good. France out into the lead by 7 points to 0. Nice little chip there from Ursula Nangasal. Nangasal couldn't gather the ball, so France will have to put in at the scrum.
Yeah, we've seen it all weekend. The Fijians threatening with ball in hand, but then giving it away. And there is the man, Chris Cracknell, the coach for Fiji, former England international and legend, part-time male model. And he's looking on here with his side. They have a lot of adjustments to make ahead of next week.
France on the attack, Landanou cuts back in, 4 tries to her name in the Atlanta Sevens. The playmaker and captain Fanny Hotta takes it into the contact. Marjorie Mayans joined that particular ruck. And France have managed to get the ball out through Chloe Pell out onto that wide outside channel. France switching the play back down. Caroline Landanou switches play. Mayan gets cut by Tisolo in the midfield and forces the error for France. So commitment there from the Fijiana team.
That really was great vision on defense, coming up and shutting down the movement. There it is. Good tackle, brought the player to the deck and then got to her feet straight away. Might have actually been a penalty as well. Player on the ground just trying to push over the ball. Mayan there.
Binds. Set.
So they're putting at the scrum through Finiana Riwai, but it'll be reset again as the front rows collapse.
Stay strong. Wait until the ball comes in, okay? Stay. Wait till set.
Joanna Sato is the hooker in the Fiji scrum. As the ball's put in, you'll notice the little white boot hooks the ball back. Rebecca Tavo, wraparound movement there. Gathered by Riwai. Strength from Tisolo. Tisolo up to the halfway line. Rebecca Tavo goes in to secure ball. Sato. Nyangato up to that halfway line. The first real decent piece of possession for this Fijian team. Remember, they're down to 6 players. Another chip kick. The ricochet is kind on Fiji. Lovely little switch play, wasn't there, from Finiana Riwai. But Fiji playing so tight. Still with 6 players, the power play in France's favour.
That's right, very tight there. Quite bunched together are the Fijians. Now they'll just soak up some time by kicking for touch and just allow the clock to tick on as they wait for their player to rejoin them.
I mentioned also in the coaching duties, I was speaking also to Eliesi Tanavulu, the assistant coach to Chris Cacknell. And this team has also been practicing with Ben Ryan and the men's squad, so plenty of opportunities for them to practice, but they've kind of clammed up here in Atlanta, not played with their usual confidence. However, this is Fiji trying to move the ball to that far side. Sato chasing the kick, Sato up into the in goal area, but the ball beats the flying Fijian on the outside.
A lot of kicking action in this game we've seen so far in the first 5 minutes. That one just had too much weight on it. It was the right idea because there was no sweeper back. And we had the flying Tasolo on the outside. Not to be this time though.
Quick restart then taken by Menjuri Mians for France. And then the ball taken on there by Chloe Pelly. Pelly onto Camille Grassino. Grassino tackled there by Nangato for Fiji. But France, look at the way they're putting width on the ball. There's a 2-on-1. Oh, the ball was knocked on there by Lina Garan. And Garan with this long, leggy youngster.
See where this goes. Yeah, it goes pretty high in her face and a bit of sun as well in that section of the field. But they were looking like they were about to strike on that right-hand side.
Yeah, Garan with the distinctive green boots.
Trench, binds, set.
The feed within the scrum is good, and again a wraparound play by Fiji. They like that movement. Rebecca Tabo tries to find some space, gets the offload. Oh, the ball was dropped once again by Tasolo, and Fiji, well, the mistakes just costed them dear. If that ball had been held, Fiji were in under the sticks.
Well, if you had $1 for every mistake, we'd be pretty wealthy up here in the commentary booth. She was away to the races, but without the ball, of course.
There he is, Chris Cracknell, formerly of England and head coach of this Fijiana Sevens team. So the ball being put into the scrum by Clemence Goussier. She is at the scrum half position. Well tackled there by Anna Maria Rongitha. Her opposite number, Marjorie Mayans, cleans up the knock-on there though. Will be by Caroline Ladanu. So a scrappy end to this first half. And as the whistle blows from Sarah Cox, it'll be France that go in at half-time at 7 points to 0 up.
Fiji nil
to Fiji.
Grow the game of rugby in America with USA Rugby Trust. Make a tax-deductible donation today at usarugbytrust.org. And your gift will go to rugby youth programs, coaching, and referee development. And support for your men's and women's national teams.
Très rapidement, d'accord? Et loin de la phase de conquête. Loin de la phase de conquête, très vite par contre.
Just realise that sometimes the space is a little bit wider and they're honeypot into that breakdown. So if our really, okay, or a little cut and then move the ball wide will get us into space. It'll hold them in tight. Set? Set. Okay, you're in complete control of this game, girls. You're only 5 to 7 points down. Set? Alright, up the tempo, you're fitting them, none of you are breathing heavy, okay? Keep raising the tempo, they're blowing and their heads are down. Alright? Right. Let's go,
So France on the attack here in the second half of this 7th, 8th playoff game. Fiji then, can they get back into it? Trying hard there, but another mistake going in there.
No advantage.
Yeah, just trying to get things going here. That extra pass, it's called a 50-50 pass because there's a 50% chance of catching it. But actually right now with the Fijians, we should probably call it 10 to 90. 10% chance of catching it.
Advantage, offside one. Advantage over.
So Caroline Ladanu.
Yeah, it's like Psalms.
Switch play by Fanny Horta. Good pass there by Chloe Pelly. Releases Marjorie Mahans on the outside. And Mahans starts to stretch. The tackle made by Soto. France recycling the ball well. Now if they keep on moving, there's a 2-on-1 on the outside. Break is up the middle though from Caroline Ladanu. France making heavy work of this. Nina Gurant, this long leggy flyer on the wing. Chloe Pelly then, Chloe Pelly straightens.
Let me see advantage, high tackle.
Advantage being played. Marjorie Mahans comes back on the dummy switch, but plenty of space out there for Clémence Gossier, and she is going to go the distance. Here she is, France going to extend the lead. Gossier will touch down under the posts for France. Her first try in Atlanta this weekend, and it's come at the right time to extend the French lead.
Yeah, Grossenot on the outside, but it was all set up from the crisp passing from some of these French players. They did make hard work of it, and a good skip pass on the outside. And it's Grossenot, they're just so fast and very dangerous on the outside.
Successful kick for Team France, brings the score. France 14, Fiji 0.
David Cloutier looks on. Bit of an improvement here for this French team. They were beaten in the opening quarter-final today by 7 points to 24 over New Zealand, and then outgunned by Russia by 24 points to 12. So the two losses today, this looks as though it's going to be backed up by a win against Fiji. So they'll finish off in 7th place, France, in this Atlanta Sevens, unless Fiji can do something magical. Monitha gets put to the ground. Look at the pressure that's coming on. Ruwai gets the good hands over to Nyangato. That's the 22-metre line, and Fiji having to work so hard from deep. Here's a little bit more space, the one-handed flip pass. And suddenly Fiji trying to stretch them, but how good was that French defence? They closed down the space on the outside channel that Delisha Vondo was trying to exploit, and just France, well, the knock-on came there, but the way they snuffed out that Fijian attack was very good from the French defensive alignment.
Yeah, they call that closing the gate, and it's when the defense uses the touchline and squashes the Fijians to the side of the field. So here you see the two players on that side, and then they can't get the pass away. That one-handed pass doesn't need to be thrown, and it's been knocked on though. But again, Fiji very flat on attack.
Well, Fiji trying to look down the blind side, but the knock-on came in again from Anna Maria Rongitha, and you know, she's the most experienced player of the team. Just that lack of communication there between the scrum half and fly half.
Oh, jeepers. More knocks than a boxing ring. And it is really frustrating to watch. But France, on the other hand, another chance here to score a good try.
Fanny Horta will collect this ball from the scrum. There you go, there's Fanny Horta, the French cap. Good feet. Clicks once again. Now here's the overlap being created. Caroline Ladanu, 4 tries to her name. This is the 5th try of the weekend from Ladanu. 31 tries in her international career now on the Sevens World Series circuit.
But it was the captain. Outstanding Orta here, creating the magic. She's the one that set up the try earlier. Just gliding away and drawing players in. But I knew the recipient with the speed, but it's the captain with the creation.
Well, certainly France have got this one in the bag. Plenty of action coming up for the remaining few games here in the Atlanta Sevens. Russia will take on United States in the plate final. Then England, Canada for the third, fourth playoff. And then the final, the big one, New Zealand versus Australia. And remember, Australia have had back-to-back victories on the Women's Sevens Series circuit. They won in Dubai, they won in Sao Paulo. Can they make it a treble? New Zealand will certainly have a say in that. Lauriane Foucault, she was took the ball there. Marjorie Mayans with the slip pass mistake from France's Chloe Pelly. And eventually Fiji. Well, I don't think Fiji have been in France's half in the second half, Dallin.
No, they might get there. We'll see in the last play. There we go. I guess not.
It's been a long couple of days for both these teams, and remember next weekend that the series moves to Langford in Victoria, Vancouver Island. France just retaining possession. It's so hard when you're commanding the possession like this for Fiji to get themselves back into the game. Marjorie Mayans at the scrum half position gets the ball to Chloe Pelly. Pelly up and over the 10-yard line. Oh, a big tackle comes in from Basilis de Solo. And the ball goes into Lina Guerin. And Guerin with her second try of the weekend. Dots down for France, and that will probably be the last bit of action in the 7th-8th playoff.
Well, there's some big hits there, but the structure that France played with was excellent. They spotted a little gap. Oh, but that hit came in was monstrous. In fact, Solo was left chewing on the grass, and in the end, it was the French player yet again for another try. Guerin touches down.
So the conversion was successful, which brings down the curtain for these two teams in the Atlanta Sevens. We've enjoyed the input of both Fiji and France, but Fiji without a point on the second day in Atlanta. France full-time winners at 28 points to 0.
So these are the series points available for the weekend. The cup winners will take away 20 points, runners up 18, so Australia and New Zealand contesting that. But the match to come, the plate winners will get 12, and they will either go to Russia or the United States of America. Ireland already secure with 4. That was much needed to add to their tally of 2 and should bring them closer to Japan. But we are almost set to go for the plate final. Well, this is it. Russia, United States of America. We won't go into the history behind these two countries, but we promise a feisty encounter. So we'll have a quick look at the table as well to remind you how things stand after 2 tournaments. Australia leading the way with back-to-back series victories, and we have Russia, of course, and the United States looking to add to their tally. So 2 places separating the two, 22 points and 16 for the USA. And considering that the United States have changed their coach twice since last season, you have to say they've done pretty well just to get to that tally. Well, this series, Elia Green, and she still leads the way despite the fact she's not here in Atlanta this week, but she's almost been caught by Emma Tonigata. Were she to score a try in the final today, she would equal her teammate on 15. So Atlanta is the venue. We have the plate final and we have Russia against the United States of America. Beautiful conditions for a game. Bit of a breeze out there, but nothing to speak of. Well, the United States have won 8 of the 10 meetings between the sides. That's pretty emphatic, you'd have to say. They did meet in Sao Paulo, and USA managed to win that one by 19 points to 10. Jules McCoy was in charge at that stage. Now, of course, we have Richie Walker and an all-new look United States of America team. This is the starting 7 he's gone with. And Potter, Zachary, Carlisle, Kelter back in the starting 7. She started the previous game. Baravalala, Stevens and Thomas, but the likes of Javelay, Speed, Doyle as well. Plenty of pace on the bench for the USA. Russia have gone with Lushina, Khudanova the captain, and Prestiak as well.
Please welcome to the field Team Russia.
So it is the play final, and it is Russia against the United States of America. We know where the support is going to go, unless there are a couple of scattering Russians around the ground that we haven't seen over the weekend. I can tell you, though, that I'm 99.9% sure that that is not the case. They won't mind the American crowd. They are made of tough stuff, the Russians, and they'll be well coached and well drilled by Pavel Baranovsky. For the United States, they want to finish with silverware to impress the home crowd, not to be in terms of the cup itself, but that player there, Olive Kelter, well, she has been a phenomenon over the last 2 days. Sue Day from Ring Internationals beside me, and this should be a cracker.
It really should. The 8-2 in USA's favour is a bit of a surprise. You expect these two teams for it to be tight. USA have home advantage. They've got one of the really formed players in Olive Kelter, haven't they?
Bolabayo referee. The plate up for grabs, and Kelter starts us off with a high kick. Russia don't deal with it. How many times today have we seen the first touch spill with a knock on, and Kelter straight into action. Ball on the outside to Thomas, has got the legs to go around the outside. Almost there. Turn and pirouette. Dragged into touch. That's how dangerous the USA can be.
Almost a perfect start from the US. They are a really pacey, powerful team. What Olive Kelter does so well is take the ball forward at pace when she's playmaking. So she's really challenging the defence. That time Kristen Thomas just gets bundled into touch, though.
The former hurdler couldn't get over the obstacle on that occasion, but she will have other opportunities. The kick and chase from Russia is an interesting tactic, you have to say. Thomas, who only just had possession, did well. Picked it off out of her boots, breaks the tackle, and off she goes. Another one to beat, and a handoff, hurdling her way through. Brilliant piece of individual running by Kristen Thomas. And the United States looking to capitalise on this one. Runners outside, surely it must be. Kelter's got to go in the corner. Steps inside, she's not happy with the try, she wants to go all the way towards the post. And that'll tell you how confident Kelter is over the last 2 days.
20 tries now for Olive Kelter. That one she just had to finish off. It's this bit of outstanding individual brilliance from Kristen Thomas. The pick up off the kick, the go forward, recycling it in the tackle. Then all the USA had to do was move it into the space outside. That probably should have gone a little bit sooner. It didn't matter because they had so many numbers on the outside. And as you say, the confidence of Olive Kelter to dodge 2 tackles in the dead ball area.
Conversion attempt is to the right and wide, which means USA stay at 5 points. No joy for Baravalala, and Richie Walker gets the perfect start here in Atlanta as the USA go in search of the plate. A little reminder of the finish. Today they say the redheads get all the talent. On the basis of this performance, you could not argue with it.
Well, you say that anyway.
I do say that, but I also say that I'm strawberry blonde as opposed to red, so just got to make your own mind up on that one. Restart from Kelter, hangs it high, and the knock on. Well, the first touch for Russia didn't go to plan. The first touch for the United States and the restart results in a knock on, and Russia will get a chance to show what they can do. They have plenty of pace.
No strawberry bomb players on the Russian team, though, I don't think.
No, they don't make them that good over there.
First chance really for Russia to get their hands on the ball, isn't it?
let's see what they can do. As I mentioned, they do have pace, but you can chop down at the legs there and a pick up off the ground. You're allowed to do that for Estiak. Once you let go after you're tackled, you can pick the ball up and go again as long as you're not held. Again, a contest at the breakdown there, and the captain, Hudanova, tries to break through. Lovely run. Captain on the charge. Oh, crunching tackle goes in from Barivalala. Hamidova tries the handoff, and she's successful with it. The long arm reaches out into the ground, and she touches down. 2 tries in the space of 3.5 minutes.
She is such a good finisher, Hamidova. 5 tries this weekend, but many, many more in her career. It comes, as ever, from the brilliance of Kudanova, darting through the gap. Great tackle from Kristin Thomas. She's been learning that from Vix Falayan. But then Hamidova, such a strong, strong runner, shrugs off the tackle of Ryan Carlisle.
Conversion attempt straight between the posts, which means that Russia take a 2-point lead. If United States thought they were going to have this all their own way, they are mistaken. Russia edged their noses in front in Atlanta. There's Barnowski. Pass to Kelter is flat. Look how strong she is. It's the low centre of gravity. It's the stepping off the foot, and Adam Kelter is the woman possessed at the moment. What a run. Potter, I don't blame her looking for her number 7. She is unstoppable in this kind of form. Barivalano again, back to Kelter, takes a breather, and why not? Runners on the outside here, taken up this time by Carlisle. Stevens hits the ground. Ball there for United States to use. Kelter, she's going to have to do this on her own because there's nobody in support. Now there is. Barivalala, and off they go. This is Stevens to Jill Potter. She would love to get over in this plate final. And the penalty goes against them. Legal hands on the ground is the call from the referee.
Always a real contest at the breakdown in Russia games. Jill Potter takes the ball in and there's a real battle for it. Barivalala fishes it out and is adjudged to be playing that in the ruck.
Kudanova, who set up that try for Hamidova, and Russia try and get out of their own half here. Kelter makes the hit. Back with the Russian captain, opts to go to the left-hand side. Looks for Hamidova. That one surely went forward. Well, it's gone into touch anyway, but it must have gone forward because we're standing right in front of it.
Certainly looked forward from here, didn't it? Either way, the US will get the ball. An unusual error from Kudanova.
Well, they've given the line out. It definitely went forward. But anyway, regardless, United States have possession. Kelter, underarm throw. Got to be accurate, and she's not. Well, she got away with murder there. Russia will be kicking themselves. Barivalala, Thomas on the outside now. She might back herself here. Little show, and a switch in behind to Stevens. Stevens tries to go through, slips the tackle. Stevens over the 22, towards the try line, and the United States have their second. Rochelle Stevens gets the crowd on their feet in Atlanta.
Yeah, the crowd's going wild, isn't it, for Rochelle Stevens? I thought that the USA had telegraphed that move a little bit, but it was easy for the Russian defence to move on to Stevens when she loops round. First of all, a little bit lucky to get their hands on the ball on the line-out, weren't they? Then they just moved it out into the open spaces. Rochelle Stevens shrugs off that last tackle, and then a real crowd please adopts the ball down.
To add the extra 2 and make it a 5-point game, Russia converted their try. No mistake with the kick. 12 points to 7. The last action of the first half. Well, we've had 3 tries. It's been a cracker of a game so far. We've got a second half to come. Russia 7, USA 12 at the break.
Here we go. Hey guys, 2 breaths.
The Rugby channel is here. Subscribe now and get 1 month free. Don't Smith, the world's best
Just a couple of things. Obviously, we need to talk to each other more. Okay, don't shoot up on deep. You know that they're going to attack around the ruck area or that one off the ruck. The other thing is, don't mess around with the ball in the middle.
Anywhere you go.
Okay, if you have 3 people outside you, don't cut back in. Okay, and if you're dancing around there, no. Look what happened when we moved it to the outside. We scored a try. I want it to go outside, outside, outside. No messing in the middle, all right?
Hey guys, it's downstairs, quick!
Настрой на дичи защите играть, отбирать мячи. Полыгин отдыхает.
Давай, 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 давай! 3-4! Россия!
Hashtag Atlanta Sevens if you want to get involved.
Captain.
And the second half
Thank you.
about to get underway. Kudinova, the captain for Russia. They trail by 5. You still could not call this game. Stevens lets it go. Jessica Javeley is in for USA. 7 minutes of speed from her. That's what they want. Potter's out on the wing. Jill Potter's going to put her head down and use that strong arm and run back inside and take 2 to bring it down over the halfway line. Still there. Here is Megan Bonney, also in as a substitute. Carlisle with the pass. Parivalala. Stevens now. Javeley. Javeley. Crowd want to see her run because she can, I can tell you. Hands might do it here. Potter. Flat pass over the head, taken, but just about taken from Heverland is also in. So Walker ringing the changes at half-time, not releasing on the ground, and off they go, Russia, through Daria Lushina. Little kick and chase. Now Hamidova after this one, back goes Javeley, juggles with it, needs to get away. Just about does. Don't get isolated there, Stevens. Javeley. Nice hands. Potter's on the outside. Well, she was in the clear there. Picking up by Bonnie. USA get the penalty. Not rolling away from the tackler. Nicole Heveland wants to take it quickly, but he says, set yourself. And USA will go back to structure.
Yeah, taking their time, the USA now. They've used this tactic quite a lot this weekend, kicking for the line to reset.
I mean, you have to figure that when Victoria Feline comes back, they'll have that extra weapon in attack. I mean, she is a flyer.
She's a brilliant player all round, Vix Feline, a brilliant finisher, but also the best you'll see in the cover defensive area. Quite where they'll fit her in with Javeley and Kristen Thomas as well. Be interesting to see.
Nice options to have as well. Parivalala. Little dummy up the middle and a long floating pass to Javeley. Javeley, little back herself, little chip and chase. Where's it's going to bounce? Oh, footwork to be ball. It's a penalty, surely. Was it intentional is the question. Referee has blown the whistle. He's going to have a look at this one again. The question, Sue Day, was the trip from Hamidova deliberate or an accident?
Really hard to say, isn't it? They're both chasing the ball as hard as they possibly can. Both chasing here, trying to get onto the ball.
That was accidental.
I think that's accidental, and just her ankle knocks into the other one. Just they're both running for the ball, aren't they?
You can't say for sure that was in any way deliberate. So, what's the referee's decision going to be? Scrum is the answer. So it'll be a Russian put in because it went dead, and USA touched it last. So Russia will get the put in. She is quick, isn't she?
Really quick. I was a little bit surprised she kicked it then. I thought she might have just had a go round the outside, but it has to be a tactic for the US. Just get the ball into the hands of Javeley in a bit of space.
Kudinova. Ball goes loose again. The basics letting Russia down at a crucial stage, and USA swamp all over them. Can they pick it off the ground? Javelin's rucked out of it illegally, gets the penalty. Options now, all on the right-hand side. Barry Vilala taken off the ground. United States through Carlisle, almost there. They've got Jill Potter screaming for on the right-hand side to go left, though. Was that the right option? Well, now they go right. Javelin for the line! Must be. We're going to see again. Oh, come on, ref. You were right in front of it. Got to make a decision, man.
It looked like that was grounded, didn't it? It looked like she landed over the line. We'll see it again now. Brilliant from Jessica Javelin, cutting back against the defence, but
went forward.
Did it go forward?
Did it? Did she lose control? Did she lose control? Well, in fairness, you want the referees to make the right call, and he took his time there.
She was close to keeping control of it, wasn't she? Just went forward.
Still only a try in this, and it's 5-point game. 3.5 minutes to go. Russia need to get out of their 22 into USA's half and try and put that. Wasn't even engaged when the scrum went down. It was up to Buta clear. Now back goes Thomas all the way over the halfway line. Maybe that's exactly what Russia need, just to relieve a bit of pressure for a minute. Thomas has a lot of work to do here. Keeps that ball alive. Went backwards. Unlucky. Potter. Oh, wow. It's a comedy of errors at the moment from USA.
Yeah, the USA putting themselves under pressure. Need to get back behind the ball, and they ended up very, very flat there. Instead of just trying to pass the ball around, at that point you just want to take it forward, take the contact, recycle it, move it again.
Richie Walker, I'm sure, a little bit frustrated by that. USA had possession, they just panicked a little bit. Russia, the right tactics for them to punt it clear, come up in a line together, make the tackle. There with Kudanova, she's wrestled to the ground. USA in over the top. Were they releasing it? No, they have not released it, and that's the danger when you get isolated like that.
Yeah, really good work at the breakdown from Ryan Carlisle.
Javelin, electric runner. Thomas equally as adept with ball in hand, gets the pass back to Javelin. Lovely offload. Russian defenders just enough in the right place at the right time. Well, that was an unorthodox pass, you'd have to say. Potter has one outside, Megan Bonney. Now, how much pace does Megan Bonney have? Not enough to beat Hamadova, surely. Oh, that was high. That was high. That was a clothesline. WWE style. Accidental, says the ref, so just a penalty.
Interesting to blow the whistle, though, wasn't it? All the momentum was with the USA at that point.
Barry Vilala almost crossing there. Got to be careful, United States here. Carlisle. Barry Vilala once more to go left. Potter, little step from her. Jill Potter trying to pump through the middle. Live on the outside. Megan Bonney in the corner. Megan Bonney for the USA. Barry Vilala with the beautiful pass, and Bonney finishes it off.
Really sweet hands from Barry Vilala. This break, first of all, you've got Kristen Thomas and Jessica Javelin running at you as defenders. Where do you go? They're both so quick. They recycle it then and move the ball out all the way to the other side of the pitch. Gillian Potter takes it in, gets the offload, and these hands, that's what makes the try, isn't that sweet? Brilliant, brilliant work from Barry Vilala.
Lovely strike, Barry Vilala, take a bow from the corner. Well, that is the icing on the cake, and that is the plate for the United States.
That's what you want, isn't it? Touchline conversion in front of your home crowd. Lap that up, Barry Vilala. You deserve it after the hands for the try.
Kelter launches one up to the sky. Hamadova can't get her hands on it. Kudanova. Crossfield comes Prestiek. Lucina. And the ball just awkward and loose for Russia. Did not go forward, it went backwards as the ref. Across the field they go. Seradina at the 10-metre line. The pass was loose. Lucina trying to drive one up, but USA have it. Barry. That one went forward, did it? Or did it go off her knee? Advantage being played. And Kudanova to try and finish this off. Look at the pace of Thomas, though. The pass on the outside, and another tackle from Thomas. 2 tackles. Look at that for work rate at the end. Sue Day, what about that?
Kristen Thomas, the game's already won, but she was not giving up on that. She chased back 2 tackles. Phenomenal work rate, phenomenal pride. You'd never want to get scored against as an international rugby player. Great work, Kristen Thomas.
Pats on the back from Jessica Javeley. 19 points to 7, the final score. Look at this. Sue, talk us through it.
Well, it's just brilliant persistence, isn't it? The pace, first of all, gets to Kudanova. And then when Kudanova passes it off, makes the final cover tackle as well, saving a certain try. Brilliant.
United States full value for their victory. Kelter, Javeley, Thomas, Barvalala, all the main players in this squad. And as I said, when you think that Victoria Beline has to come back into it, well, they will be serious contenders for the Olympic Games.
They certainly will, and that Kristen Thomas tackle was straight out of the Vix Falayan textbook of cover tackles, wasn't it? She's learnt well from the more experienced player on the squad, Kristen Thomas.
Quick word about Jill Potter as well, because I mean, it's well documented her struggles over the last year to get herself back, but she is captain for this tournament in Atlanta, her home tournament, and what will it mean for her, having battled through cancer, come all the way back to go up there and get this place?
Yeah, I'm sure she'll be very, very pleased with herself and her team. They'd rather be lifting the cup, of course, but put in a really, really good performance. What I love about Gillian Potter is she is just a bundle of energy. She gets all over the park, but she has really good handling skills as well. You'll often see her standing one out from the wing, making that final try-scoring pass, and they're always really good, accurate passes out to the wide players.
Well, for Richie Walker, a sense of satisfaction, I suppose, because he spent 3 seasons under Rick Suggett as assistant coach, and very much the glue as well with Suggett that held this squad together. Deserved a huge amount of praise, and then obviously disappointed not to get the job when it came up, but Jules McCoy came in for a couple of tournaments this year, and I think to everyone's surprise, Walker appointed only last week. But you can see this United States team are a different outfit under Richie Walker. The cohesiveness, togetherness, work rate for each other, and the result is the plate in Atlanta for the United States. Plate winners in Atlanta in front of their home crowd, USA. Well, worth waiting around for the home crowds. Been a tremendous atmosphere around the stadium all day, and the weather certainly helped that. But look what it means to the supporters that have stayed, and for Jill Potter and for her teammates. Here's the celebration. Bow for the crowd, and why not? All that work paying off. And as you say, Langford next week, that'll do them no harm whatsoever. Just that one dip in performance against Australia. They were so impressive yesterday, and you feel that they will be contenders for Langford next week. So Potter will lead them off again. They can relax tonight and maybe have a drink or two, take it easy, and then tomorrow it's refocus for next week.
Yeah, need to rest up. It's a quick turnaround to play another tournament in a week's time. All the squads have a pool of 14 players, so most of the same players will be standing up again, those teams that have travelled from afar. So they'll get home, maybe have a very brief celebration, but then get some sleep, get the ice packs on, get in the ice bath and rest up.
Just a word about Kelter as well. I mean, she for many people has been one of the standout players of the tournament so far. I mean, it's her work rate as much as anything else that just stands her apart, isn't it?
Yeah, she's got the complete game at halfback. She's got the distribution skills, but she's also got that power to really challenge defences, and so you can't afford to stand off her. She pulls in the defenders, and so that creates space for the people outside of her. I love the way that she always carries the ball forward at pace, always challenging the defence.
Well, she was at the team hotel last night. He has plenty of supporters here, and as you can see, they're all happy to let her know exactly how well she has done over the last 2 days out of Kelter. And it just means that bit much more when it's in front of your home crowd, because, you know, it's long weeks of training for these teams, long months of training, and then off halfway around the world as well, away from family and friends. So you get the opportunity to show what all the work has been for in front of your home crowd. It makes it all the more special, really.
Yeah, and it can put pressure on teams. I think it's helped the US this tournament. They've certainly enjoyed having that support, haven't they? Certainly enjoying lapping up the atmosphere now. Brilliant.
Didn't see too much of Lauren Doyle, who played her part yesterday. You can only think she picked up a bit of a knock because she featured in most of the pool matches yesterday. Javelin seems to be that secret weapon off the bench. That seems to be the plan that Richie Walker has for her when maybe opposition defences are a little bit tired after 7 minutes, to unleash the pace, and that's when she's at her most effective.
Yeah, she does have out and out gas, and if you're a tired defensive winger and you see Jessica Javelin running at you, so hard to defend against her in space.
So let's have a look at this one. This was the try that sealed it all. Watch the pass from Barry Valala. There you go. And Megan Bonney in the corner. They enjoyed that one. And what about this? Thomas, not one tackle, but two to save a try at the end from Russia. The game was already won. It wouldn't have changed anything. It just shows the desire and the work rate that this team has. So we're nearing the end of day 2 in Atlanta. This is what's on offer today. Don't forget the cup final to come. 20 for the winners. Australia against New Zealand. Battle of the Southern Hemisphere teams. Australia, the new guard at the moment. Back-to-back titles so far in the series. And the plate winners, the United States, will get 12 to close the gap on Russia, because there were 2 spots between them. And I think now just 2 points separate them in the table overall.
Well, the penultimate game of the Atlanta Sevens. It's the 3rd-4th playoff between England and Canada. Well, these teams, look at that, tied 7 each, so nothing within it. But England last won the Cup quarter-final game in Dubai by 17 points to 12. So everything to play for this 3rd-4th playoff. Well, England, in fact, both Simon Middleton and coach John Tate for Canada have actually rotated the full squad to ensure that everybody gets some game time. Amy Wilson-Hardy gets another start. Emily Scarrett is the captain for England. Meanwhile, for Canada, it's Jen Kish who will lead the Canadians out onto the field. And keep an eye out for Ghislaine Landry, who's within 4 points of breaking the 500 points barrier on the Sevens World Series circuit. So the 3rd-4th playoff here at the Atlanta Sevens. England in their traditional white. Canada wearing the red jerseys. Emily Scarrett wearing that number 4 jersey. She's been standout today for England. Lost the semi-final by that slender 5 points to New Zealand. Whereas Canada, well, in their semi-final, they were beaten by a very good Australian team by 14 points to 26. The scoreline at the bottom of that graphic there. There's the captain of the Canadian team, Jen Kish, wearing the 7 jersey. And our referee in the middle is Jessica Beard from New Zealand. Well, the crowd here at the Atlanta Sevens have been well entertained. USA had just won the plate competition. And now the last 2 games, the penultimate game, the third, fourth playoff between England and Canada. Watch the intensity rack up in this game. 7 minutes each way, and England attacking from deep through Emily Scarrett. Both these teams will be well matched. Jen Kish misses the tackle. It was an excellent run there by the England skipper. Tash Brennan playing in that fly half position. Sorry, it was Emily Scott. This is Heather Fisher. Heather Fisher switches the play to Abby Brown. Abby Brown, who scored a final try against New Zealand in that Cup semi-final. Oh, a nice little angle there from Amy Wilson-Hardy. She's got some real gas. Will she back herself? The support's on the outside. Oh, was gathered there. Lovely, lovely hands. And in the corner, Emily Scott for England. What a tremendous sevens try that was from England.
The Canadian defence came flying up, and it took a beautiful angle from Amy Wilson-Hardy, just buying time here brilliantly, flirting with Megan Lurkin, and getting that pass away was absolutely excellent. England strike first in this final.
So there she is, Emily Scott. Her second try of Atlanta. Tremendous conversion there from Katie McLean. The additional 2 points from wide out pushes England out into the lead by 7 points to 0. What a tremendous kick. What a tremendous piece of skill from the English player Katie McLean. Plenty of height on that ball. Taken by Hannah Darling for this Canadian team. But clashing in the air, Jessica Beard says so, a penalty. And Ghislaine Landry, such a stalwart of this Canadian team, just settles things down. Ghislaine Landry. This is her 14th appearance on the World Sevens Series. My name's Scott Hastings, alongside me Dallin Stanford, former USA Sevens star. And 2 great teams out here competing for that third, fourth place, Dallin.
No, we know this one will be harder to pick than a broken nose. The final 2 matches coming down to the wire.
That doesn't take much imagination, that one. Gosh. Anyway, back to the action. Bianca Farella. The switch play then from Canada. Kayla Mileski on that 10-yard line. Remember, Canada will be hosting the Sevens from Langford in Victoria next week, and all the teams will be heading up there to do battle once again. Well, there'll be a penalty there because she was still wearing the number 2 jersey. Abby Brown was still on the deck, so she's been given a yellow card. We'll get another look at that. A technical offence there. Dallin, take us through this.
That's right, you're on the ground. There she reaches out. That's cheeky, very cheeky indeed. And now she'll sit for 2 minutes in the bin.
So the power play then for Canada. Look at the switch play. They're going to try and stretch it to this near side. Mileski into Kelly Russell. Kelly Russell as the Canadian skipper. Jen Kish then throws the ball back. Canada trying to stretch the England defensive alignment. Bianca Farella to Ghislaine Landry. Landry has a cut. Well tackled on the far outside by Emily Scarrett. Kish in midfield. Mileski has Kelly Russell, 2 strapping forwards in Kelly Russell and Jen Kish, who latches onto this pass. Now there's space on the outside. Great tackle there by Katie McLean. Bianca Farella shows the ball, and the power play for Bianca Farella will match the try scored by Emily Scott. High five from Kelly Russell. Bianca Farella scores for Canada.
Number 8, Bianca Farella.
Excellent stuff from the Canadians. They knew they're the extra player. They had to finally take it upfield. It was the captain that got this excellent pass off the deck. And then they had numbers to burn. The dummy, the vision, the skill. And that will tie it all up.
Well, there's the conversion for Giselyn Landry. She gets closer to that 500-point barrier. 498 points. There is only one player ahead of her, and that is Portia Woodman of New Zealand. She's the all-time points record scorer for Canada. Farella then spills ball. This will be an England put-in on that far side. Watch the clock, 1 minute and 45 seconds. This score's tied at 7 apiece.
Very rare that you score points with 6 players on the field. We saw Australia do it though. And time here for England. They're going to play this scrum. And now, in fact, back to 7.
Yeah, Abby Brown comes back in off the naughty boys step, or the naughty girls step, I should say. There she is. She takes the place in that front row. First played for Colompton RFC with her brother, age 6, and here she is representing her country in the 7s here at Atlanta, Georgia. Scarrett playing in the centre. Well, she hung on to the ball. Oh, tremendous wraparound pass from Kay Wilson. Kay Wilson did brilliantly there to allow continuity to England's play. Kay Wilson, who scored a hat-trick against Colombia. This is Katie McLean. Fisher on that switch. Super tackle that comes in from Megan Luke for Canada. And Scarrett, 2-1 on this side. Super tackle that came in there from Hannah Darling on Kay Wilson. That was tremendous work, winger on winger.
Yeah, if you're a young player watching right now, the skill level on display is absolutely fantastic from these top teams. Good tackle technique, but the clear out here was excellent. Picking and driving to the ground, and it was all England on the touchline, and then some excellent defense, though, to stop this movement. Low tackle, taking her into touch.
It's a good old physical game, isn't it? But it's also exciting. Hope you're enjoying the 7s here from Atlanta, wherever you are watching throughout the world. Giselyn Landry decides to put her left foot on the ball. Katie McLean goes back. Bianca Farella's chasing her. Farella goes over the top. Katie McLean sets up on this counter-attack. McLean backs herself. Who's in support? In comes Heather Fisher. The tackle made by Megan Lucan. Switch play to Scarrett. Scarrett has a little step, gets the 2-1, and on the outside track is Kay Wilson. Wilson for the corner. And Kay Wilson will score her 4th try in Atlanta this weekend.
As the siren sounds, and that is a moment you want to score. It was a 2-on-2 here, but if you watch the little step back on the inside, this is the initial part of that. Great rucking, and then the 2-on-1 there, set up beautifully from Emily Scarrett. And on the outside, another great score here for England. They stretch into the lead.
Successful kick, Team England at the half.
Half-time then here in this 3rd, 4th playoff sees England with 2 converted tries, leading by 14 points to 7.
Outstanding, yeah? Great energy about it. Exactly what we talked about. Really putting that pace on the outside. Listen, defensively, Kay Wilson really good shape. When they shift it, they're looking to get edge and pull it out, aren't they? And again, it's coming back on the other side. 3 and 4. Okay, don't overchase. You've got to look up in the midfield and watch what they're doing, because they're dropping back into that pocket. They're not a threat close to the line. All right. If they do come to the line, we can close them up. Hold the middle of the field. All right. So we're not getting a big overchase. Okay, and then it's just a case of getting the line speed on at the right time. All right. Offensively, just real smart play. Keep on a look at the short sides, all right? Because when we break into midfield, it's on for us. A little bit of change. We've said it time and time again with this. Change the direction, yeah? Cut back against, all right? Really struggle to defend it. So let's make sure, if in doubt at all, step back. But we've got to push on the inside, slow body tackle, and then the offload will be the opportunity for us. Yeah?
We've got 7 minutes to make this tournament really mean something, yeah? It's like bronze medal. Bronze medal.
Let's go.
Well, it's great, isn't it, to see Simon Miller, good Yorkshire lad, Simon. He's from Leeds, and he always speaks like that. And the head coach of John Tate also with the words of wisdom. Well, I'm sure we'll see some changes for Canada in the second half, and the youngsters in Charity Williams, Emmanuel Jada, they've all contributed today. Karen Paquin's been quite outstanding for the Canadian team as well, and I'm sure the crowd in at Langford will enjoy their rugby next weekend. If it's been as good a quality of competition, then we're in for a real treat next weekend. So the second half is underway in this fourth playoff game. England leading by 14 points to 7 against Canada. What is Canada's response to England's 7-point margin? Molesky teasing on that 22-metre line. The tackle is made by Katie McLean. Kish, the Canadian captain. Fisher tries to track her down. McLean makes the tackle on the Canadian skipper. Again, another tackle made, but Kelly Russell comes away with the game. Ball booted downfield, bounces favourably for Canada, and Ghislaine Landry. Landry, she's got real pace about her. She pops the ball down. Scarrett has this one covered. She was playing in the pivotal sweeper position. Just waits. Look how good Scarrett was. She waited until her teammates got behind her to support her, and now England can set off their attack strategy. Oh, the dipping pass. Picked up there by Abby Brown. Jessica Beer said play on. You'll have heard her over the referee's mic. Ball then whisked away. Here's Scarrett. Scarrett just decides to leave some of that territory, relieve it with that pressing kick. Ghislaine Landry being traced by Heather Fisher. Fisher showing great pace to get towards the Canadian. Ghislaine Landry penalised there. The quick tap and goal then from Amy Wilson-Hardy. And England have got numbers wide. Katie McLean comes short. Fisher decides to go for the corner. She's going to back herself. Ghislaine Landry with a superb tackle for Canada. Amy Wilson-Hardy, dancing feet once again. Katie McLean will have to go in and try and clear, because Megan Lookout for Canada's right there. Nice little touch. Scarrett, the England captain, goes for the line. Super tackle by Farrell. Great offload, Amy Wilson-Hardy. And England score. England playing some magnificent sevens rugby here.
Wow, Emily Scarrett, she was offered a basketball scholarship in the US at the age of 16. She turned it down because she can still use those basketball skills here on the World 7 Series. You thought for a moment Canada were going to get it, but in the end, look at this pass with support backing it up. Wilson-Hardy, over she goes.
Katie McLean, an important conversion, just shaves the upright. England 17 points to 7, 19-7, sorry, in the lead. Kickoff is good and it's high, it's hanging. Karen Paquin on the far side for Canada. England have got possession, they've got the ball. Shown go from Emily Scott down that blind side. Abby Brown invites the tackle of Jada. Emmanuel Jada, who's making her debut for Canada. Amy Wilson-Hardy comes short, but Ghislaine Landry, you'll notice how she was tracked and made the tackle. Molesky comes through the middle. England having to work so hard to retain the possession, and Emily Scott, it's all a little bit of a guddle there, and eventually Kelly Russell comes away with the ball. Great hands. Paquin. The Jada's on the outside now. Jada can shift, and Jada will go in the corner. Scarrett, what a tackle! What a superb tackle by England's captain. And look at this. Here's the counter-attack. And this is what makes seven-a-side rugby one of the best sports around, because defence can move to attack so quickly. The tap and go. England are looking very, very sharp at the moment. They're really stretching this Canadian defence.
Let's go.
Emily Scott feeds Wilson Hardy, and here's England's captain. Well, Emily Scarrett has been magnificent for England this weekend. She made the tackle at the far end of the ground. Who's scoring at the other end? It's Emily Scarrett. Quite outstanding for the England captain.
Wow. Take a breath. Scott Hastings. Scarrett, look at this tackle. Technique was brilliant, stopping a certain try for her teammates, and then had the work ethic to get up and put the kick through and chase it. It was brilliant. Now I know what I want for Christmas. And I tell you what, she's wearing number 4 on her back.
Are you saying you want Emily Scarrett for Christmas?
I'm just saying she's so amazing. So amazing. It is the ultimate gift for English rugby. I know my wife might not be watching.
Well, that's the voice, ladies and gentlemen, of Dallin Stanford. What we want for Christmas? Well, I've never heard that one before, but back to the action. Gisland Landry to Jenny Kish. Jen Kish bundled out the touch, and it's been such a team effort, hasn't it, for this England team.
Got to give a shout out as well on Twitter. We just got a message from @Lady Blitzbocker. We know the South African team couldn't be here. They just did brilliantly in Hong Kong, but they send their wishes to all the teams playing right now, and they are stunned at the level of play we've witnessed here this weekend.
Well, remember, the final of the Atlanta Sevens is coming up. Australia versus New Zealand. How mouth-watering is that? So why don't you get on your Twitter accounts and tweet us @World Rugby Sevens. Who do you think is going to win the Atlanta Sevens? Australia or New Zealand? Let's have your reaction, please. So here we go, the final play in the third-fourth playoff. It's been well competed, and you may recall that you heard Emily Scarrett. Let's treat this game as a bronze medal match. And they certainly have. So this will be the final play of the game. So the put in at the scrum. Bump and barrel there from Natasha Hunt. Jen Kish comes away with the ball. Maybe Canada want to have one last word. Bianca Farella. Farella well tackled by Claire Allen. Gisland Landry gives the pass to Mileski. And again, Canada, their never say die attitude. Karen Pakwa. Bit of a loose pass there, Gisland Landry, but look how hard work England are working in the defensive chores as well. Canada having to work so hard from deep. Kayla Mack. Now Farella to Pakwa. Gisland Landry to Jane Kish. Will she have one of her traditional barn-storming runs up the touchline? Gisland Landry gets the ball to Pakwan. Look at the way that Canada are retaining the possession, and Pakwan, great tackle that comes in from Natasha Hunt. I must say, from an England perspective, they're really stuck in the defensive chores, but Canada are stretching England now. On the wide outside channel is Charity Williams. Oh, the pace from the Canadian Flyer. We've been treated to some great rugby, folks, and Charity Williams has scored an absolute peach of a try for Canada. They'll have the last say in this game, but England ultimately will win this third-fourth playoff game.
Wow, you couldn't get more exciting. End-to-end stuff, right from under their line. Williams with the wheels on the end to put the final touch in this game. Her team can hold their heads high, and this England side really have been outstanding.
You must hate us, right?
And Gisland Landry with the additional 2 points for Canada. That takes her to 500 points on the Sevens World Series, but it was the England captain, Emily Scarrett, with 6 tries over the weekend that's given a real captain's lead to this England performance. There's confirmation, over 500 points for Ghislaine Landry. She's within 10 of Portia Woodman. But the story has been about Emily Scarrett and the England team. England lead and won that game by 26 points to 14. So there's John Teague, but Emily Scarrett looks to take the applause of the referees.
It features clubs that have won 7 USA since 2008.
And it all comes down to this, the cup final between the near neighbours and great rivals, New Zealand hoping to wrestle the crown off Australia, the Aussies aiming for 3 tournament titles in a row. They know each other very well. They've played 10 times in total and nothing to separate the teams. New Zealand with 5 wins, Australia with 5. They last met in Dubai in December, Australia winning by 15 points to 12. As the starting teams, Parry the captain for Australia, Goss the captain for New Zealand. Pace aplenty between both, and a cracking final awaits. So the final, and the team's out. Australia against New Zealand. The old kings against the newbies on the block. So much to look forward to. Sarah Goss, a heavy, deep breath from her. Tonegato, arguably one of the players of the tournament in Atlanta. The stage is set, the crowd have stayed behind, and conditions are absolutely ideal for a final. Take the right away from Sao Paulo. We have a beautiful night in Atlanta. And I tell you what, if this one lives up to expectations, we are in for a treat. We will have, of course, the team's national anthems.
Please stand for the playing of New Zealand's national anthem.
So advance Australia fair and the national anthems of Australia, and before that New Zealand. Both teams in a huddle. Sue Day beside me, a cracking final awaits.
It's always a cracking final between Australia and New Zealand. Neither team probably played to their best yesterday, but these are two teams who know how to make it count when it matters.
Alhambra Nieves from Spain is our referee, and we are almost set to go. 10 minutes aside for the final, as opposed to the customary 7 all the way up until this stage. The final gets 20 minutes, and 20 minutes of action, I can guarantee it. New Zealand just with 4 substitutes on the bench. Of course, Kelly Braysher unable to continue after yesterday's play. Portia Woodman back in the starting 7. We know how dangerous the top try scorer in Women's World Sevens history is. Her record stands alone. Tony Gatto against Woodman. Goss against Parry. The matchups all over the pitch. Which team will come out on top, we'll know in 20 minutes time. Well, that was a tackle off the ball, and Tony Gatto leaves it for Parry. And with the first penalty of the match, it's only taken 15 seconds.
A real let-off for Australia. You can't afford to let those kick-offs bounce. You never normally see that from Australia either, but a let-off because of the tackle off the ball.
Kaslik looks to get play back underway. I can promise you physicality. Williams in to make that hit. Kaslik once more looks for a turn on the outside. Did she stay in play? The flag eventually goes up, and we'll go back for the line out. Amy Turner almost got away.
A couple of uncharacteristic errors early on from Australia. Not claiming the kick-off, then clearly a foot-in touch.
Wuniata with the throw. First set piece has come back on the Australian side. Losing their own line out, and all these margins. Cherry running across the pitch. Little switch with Tony Gatto. Try scoring machine in Atlanta. Back for Cherry. Parry, the captain, to Kaslik. Looks to get something going through the middle, and Kaslik kicks clear. Goss gives chase, but she's not going to catch her. The first try of the final goes to the Australian number 7, Charlotte Kaslik, underneath the posts.
Charlotte Kaslik had no right to score there. There was defence swarming all over her. First of all, they turn it over at the line out, Australia. They moved it all the way over the pitch. Then Kaslik cuts back inside. There's defenders everywhere, but she just cuts straight through. I think the desperate tackle of Niall Williams in under the post. Charlotte Kaslik, such a quality player.
Conversion successful from Chloe Dalton, so 7 points to 0. Tim Walsh, much the happier of the two coaches with that start. And we've played just over 2 minutes, but Charlotte Kaslik, you do not give her any space or she is gone. Australia and Dalton to restart. New Zealand looking to get themselves back into this game. Goss, the captain, takes it on the burst, tackled around the legs by Alicia Quirk, but gives away the penalty for not releasing. No support, in fairness to her. She tried to hang on for as long as legally possible. Referee on the spot as Turner takes it and switches play back to Kaslik. Missed pass. Controlled well by Quirk at her feet and delayed the pass, and Alicia Quirk going for the corner. She's got Tony Gatto back inside. She doesn't need her. Quirk is in, touches down, and it's another Australia try, and it's all too easy, Sude.
It is Alicia Quirk, Charlotte Kaslik. So often we see them pulling the strings for Australia. They're not usually the ones doing all the finishing, but Alicia Quirk just spots a little gap, and she is quick and she is fit. Feints the little pass inside to Tony Gatto, so the defence can't afford to leave her. But it's a simple finish in the end. Just spotted the gap, just like her teammate Kaslik.
Second conversion attempt from Dalton. Not a bad strike. It's going to go to the right and wide though. I mean, Tony Gatto's role in that try, just to simplify it for people, to give that option back inside meant New Zealand couldn't commit just to the runner. They had to protect against the pass inside.
That's why it's so important to flood a break. Make sure you've got loads of support there, because the defence has to worry about the support as well as the ball carrier.
How good has she been in this tournament? 6 minutes left to play in the first half. 12-0 Australia in front, and look at that for a restart. Parry, the captain, goes after. Oh my God! The dumper trucks come into roost and smash in the tackle, forcing the knock-on. Watch this again.
Absolutely smashed Chloe Dalton and Shannon Parry. Poor Shirley Tane underneath that had no chance.
Australia starting with real intent here. They want 3 in a row. They want to say we are the new queens of women's sevens, and they are starting with real confidence. Tony Gatto back inside to Kaslik. A little knock on from Woodman. Was it deliberate? Play on. Advantage to Australia. Tony Gatto juggled with it, held on. Williams tried to wrestle that ball. Australia need to get it back. What a steal from Williams. Switch back inside. Tane stays in field. How did she stay in field and get the pass away? It was forward, but she says, come on ref, give me a break. Got 3 people trying to drag me into touch there.
The pace of this game is something else, isn't it? There she goes, Tane trying to get around the outside and then feed the ball back in, but she, just as she's trying to force it, probably just drifts forward.
I've seen less than that given. That was Woodman's knock-on. And here is Kaslik again to restart from the scrum. Charlotte Kaslik, Tony Gatto, little grubber kick through. Back goes Tani. She's got 2 golden jerseys breathing down her neck. They have to let her off the ground, but it was a fair contest, both diving onto it. So New Zealand come away with it. Goss offering herself as a switch. Portia Woodman. Haven't seen too much of her in space out wide. Was that a knock-on from Williams? Unusual to see her hands fail her. In fact, Australia were the ones to have knocked the ball on, so maybe Williams getting away with that one.
You talk about Portia Woodman not having had the chance to have the ball much in space, especially when she's selected it forward as she is in this game. It's always going to be harder to get the ball in wide open spaces.
Is that a strange selection decision for you, instead of putting her out in the wing where she's, as we know, devastating?
I think it's about trying to get all his best players on the pitch.
Well, at the moment, New Zealand needs something, maybe a moment of magic from Tana. Interception on a plate! Emily Cherry will not score an easier try on the international sevens circuit. Handed it to her, and that is try number 3. 3 minutes to go, and Cherry touches down for Australia.
All Australia, isn't it? Australia putting the pressure on what is a relatively inexperienced New Zealand side. That offload really wasn't on, and Emily Cherry lurking as she does, pushing up hard in defence, right on hand.
Dalton adds the conversion. And it's all too easy for Australia at the moment. We promised you a ferociously competitive match, but Emily Cherry's try, 72nd of her career, closing in on Kayla McAllister, who's not here this weekend. But that was all too easy, and New Zealand need inspiration from somewhere, Sude.
Yeah, Australia just dominating possession at the moment, aren't they? There is a lot more experience in this Australia side than there is in the New Zealand side. They've played in finals way more often.
Well, that was a thundering tackle in on Williams there. She did well just to hang on to that ball. Grubber kick through again, and New Zealand just handing possession back to Australia. You wonder, is this part of the plan? And if it is it the right one?
It's worked out well for them this time, hasn't it? Charlotte Kaslik taking the ball into touch.
90 seconds to play at the end of the first half. Australia comfortable. Winiata to throw. Goss in the middle. Surely she will be the target. And the tall figure of Sarah Goss goes up the captain, takes that one and through the middle of the gap. Almost got away as well from Parry. advantage been played. She came in from an offside position. Now a chance maybe for New Zealand. Back inside to Ruby. Tui again, another strong handoff, and still going. Good strength by New Zealand's number 1. Quirk. Winiata throws the pass out wide. Little dummy and show by Williams. Any room for an offload length to get back on her feet. She released the ball. Here's Woodman. Woodman trying to scrum half. New Zealand, Winiata with the mistake. And Australia still having to defend. Woodman again. Nice pass from her. Little step and show back inside from Waka. And a ruck ball for New Zealand. Tui. Any room there? Gus. Winiata. Little switch. Williams trying to shake off the tackle of Alicia Quirk. Still there for New Zealand. Portia Woodman trying one hand. Cannot get away from Kaslik. Brilliant Australia defending. There's an overlap in the left now. It must be a try. Surely it is. Winiata touches down. It's taken 10 minutes, but New Zealand are finally off the mark.
When you manage to put that many phases together in sevens, you're going to score the try. The defence just gets far too stretched. Portia Woodman took the ball in, took in the defence with her, and in the end it's a pretty easy run in from Salika Winiata. But all came from the continuity of possession that New Zealand had, didn't it?
First real look at them going through the phases like that, recycling possession and waiting for the gaps to appear. Conversion attempt, this one to make it 7 points. It is 7 points, and New Zealand are not dead yet. Well, an entertaining half. Australia dominating the early stages. New Zealand striking back to give themselves a glimmer of hope. New Zealand 7, Australia 19 at the break.
We want a battle, girls. We want a battle. We got a real big battle on our hands, right?
Pass it around, pass it around, pass it around. Straight up. Okay, catch pass. When we're in defence, if we're connected, we've got to come forward a little bit. We're still got to put them under pressure. We connect and come forward, okay? You can still come forward, then slide. Don't just get into a slide, okay? We'll make the change just for half, okay? Pop into the line as much as you can and pop out, okay? But keep coming forward. When you have the ball, they fatigue because you bash them, you bash them, you bash them. Now you start bashing them. That's an awesome black, man. Okay, let's go. One try, we're back in this shit.
Girls, let's finish it off. We got 10 minutes, okay? I want the honey badger. Yeah, girls. Get it. This is on day one, take it. Get it, girls.
Hashtag Atlanta Sevens. Let us know what you've thought of the last 2 days' action here. There's been some brilliant running rugby, some fantastic tries, and you're going to do it all again next week in Langford. So the last 10 minutes of the Atlanta Women's Sevens, and Australia with that lead. New Zealand playing catch up. What have they got left in the tank? Williams tries to break the tackle. And New Zealand starting with real purpose here. And pace on the outside, no room left. And Emily Cherry bungles her into touch. Well, bit of a cheeky one there.
I think it came with a smile, didn't it? I don't think she really meant it. Had a little bit of a chuckle with the assistant referee. Emily Cherry equal to the challenge from Waka.
Kaslik goes to the front. Parry try to break away there. Cherry, Turner stopped in her tracks. And there for Kaslik again. Now this combination, 7 and 5 for Australia, have been absolutely lethal all tournament long. Tony Gatto trying to go through the tackle. Too many there. Ruby Tui in over the ball. She's on her feet and wins the penalty. Tony Gatto doesn't release.
Yeah, she's completely isolated, Tony Gatto there, wasn't she? Kaslik taken out in the tackle. Nobody else with her. To see that there's 3 defenders on 1, there was only 1 result there.
Well, New Zealand, it seems the half-time team talk, whatever Sean Horan said, has fired them up because they've started with real purpose here. Can they find the gap though? Can they put Portia Woodman in any kind of space? Because we haven't seen her once have a go, and she's lining out on the wing here now. That's where she's lethal. Little dummy, show and go, Ruby Tui! Tui's on her own, needs a bit of help. Parry goes in and try and wrestle it, and she does a brilliant job. The Australia captain in over the top, stayed on her feet, supported her body weight.
She's so good in that breakdown area, Shannon Parry. There she goes, on her feet, trying to pull the ball up, so clear to the referee that she can't play it. Australia now taking their time to set up for the penalty move.
Kaslik in no rush whatsoever. Nice decoy runner there. Cherry up the middle, and Turner with a little grubber kick. It's come off the outside of her boot, and I don't think she intended that.
She wasn't impressed with herself there, was she? Unhappy. She meant that to be a little bit further infield. I could hear Sean Horan on the sideline shouting, "Push up" to his defence. They're holding off Australia at the moment, which is allowing Australia to eat up the space, eat up the ground, and make progress up the pitch.
Goss, ball off the top to use in the pass from Fata Simpkins, has started this one on the bench, and Fitzpatrick has been a little bit quiet in this final. Williams, little switch with Woodman, drops the shoulder, still struggling forward, but lets go of the ball on the ground. Well, she says that I was perfectly entitled to do that. I think she's been hard done by there.
Yeah, she's saying to the referee, I did let it go, I did let it go. What was wrong with that? Referee interpreted it slightly differently. Australia ball.
Have a look again. Watch Woodman here. She hits the ground, lets go of the ball there, back on her feet.
I think maybe she's playing the player in front of the ball.
I think that's what it was for. Kaslik. Little show and go there from Quirk. Oh, look at that for a hit. Fitzpatrick with a monster tackle now. Kaslik can't go around the outside. Turner in to try and help her. Where's that ball? They've managed to steal it again.
Just competing so hard at the breakdown, both teams, aren't they? New Zealand aren't going to go quickly here because they're a player short. Yeah, really good work at the breakdown again.
Chichamaki's coming in, and Fitzpatrick is going to limp to the sideline. Took out a big hit there. Sean Horn, well, he needs his team to get something. He's still got 6 minutes, plenty of time on the board. Couple of tries to get back level. Deep inside their own 22, and very deep in alignment, New Zealand. What can Williams make happen? We've seen her offloading skills before, but when the tackles go in like that, she's not even thinking about offloading, she's thinking about oxygen. Portia Woodman stands up, Tony Gatto, pumps the legs, happy to just recycle that ball. Fata Simpkins, Goss trying to take a step off her right foot, tackled. Parry lets her go. Little step on the inside there from Waaka. And ball comes back on Australian side, and Portia Woodman too busy arguing with the referee to turn around and defend that one. And Kaslik scores again. Well, Portia Woodman is furious with the referee, but you're wasting your time when Australia have the ball.
Absolutely no point arguing the referee. It was a brilliant steal from Emily Cherry at the breakdown that made this Charlotte Kaslik try. Here it is, Emily Cherry makes the tackle, so she's entitled to go for it there, flicks it back, there's no ruck. Charlotte Kaslik sprints in for the corner and dots it down, finally.
Well, let's see it again. Watch Portia Woodman here. Look, I mean, you got to keep your eyes on the prize, otherwise that's what happens. Conversion attempt, really good strike, just right and wide. 24 points to 7, Australia with one hand on this cup, and so far they are by far and away the better team.
Yeah, and that lady there, Charlotte Caslick, making the team tick. Her, Alicia Quirk, Emily Cherry. Such good playmakers in combination. She's not just a playmaker, Charlotte Caslick, 37 tries as well.
An impressive tally for the Australian number 7. New Zealand not finished yet. Well, they might be if Australia score again from here. Only 4 minutes left in the second half. Penalty, no advantage being played. Ruby Tui frustrated. She fires that one back and says, let's get on with it. Let's see what we got left here. Need game breakers here. Goss trying to break the tackle at least. Presents it nicely. Any room in that middle? Oh, there is! Oh, the dummy switch as well, and here's the speedster, Portia Woodman. Can she get away from Caslick? She can, and the second attempt, oh, bump off! What a try from Woodman. I tell you what, there was anger in that one. There was anger in that one.
I think the second or third handoff was expressing the anger she felt earlier on, you're right, but we've said we haven't seen Portia Woodman with the ball in space. Finally, we did. It wasn't just one of those simple run-ins for her, though. First of all, a handoff of Charlotte Caslick, then a shrug of Charlotte Caslick's tackle, then shrugging off another tackle, then sprinting over the try line. The determination from Portia Woodman, the frustration she'll have felt over the last couple of days, not getting to play very much, not getting the ball in wide open spaces. There she is, 103 tries, Hugh.
103 tries. Incredible. And I tell you what, that was ferociousness, because the gap is now 10. We've 2 minutes to play. Game back on. Give her the ball, Sue. Give her the ball and just let her do the same thing.
That would be my game plan if I were in this New Zealand team. Try and create a bit of space and give the ball to Portia.
Give her the ball before the anger runs out. Chance to go in outside. Fanta Simpkins looks support. Williams, can she stay in? No, she can, and she's knocked it on. Advantage Australia. We'll go back for the scrum. Just trying one pass too many. In fairness to Williams, she's been marshalled towards that touchline by Emily Cherry, so it was a shot to nothing.
Yeah, in that situation, you're trying to offload the ball back into the field so you don't give away the line out.
Substitution for Australia. In comes Penatani.
Time on. Closer. Crouch. Fine. Set.
Scrum's gone down. Might try and stop the clock here, because New Zealand need all the time. They're 10 points down. They need 2 scores.
And we talked earlier about how New Zealand have only got 11 players. I think that's true of Australia as well. We haven't seen anything of Ivania Pelite.
Pop ball at the back. Cherry takes 2. Thumping hits to the shoulder. I wonder if she's going to get up from that. They get a penalty, though, not rolling away the tacklers. All well and good making that monster hit. You've got to roll away.
Yeah, Emily Cherry playing the Bosch centre for once. Normally, she's the one trying to jink around the outside.
The Scott Gibbs of Wales, the Kevin Maggs of Ireland, or the Scott Hastings of Scotland. Take your choice. Touch for Australia, and a line out for the 2-time series champions of this season. New Zealand needs something. They need possession first of all. Well, there's time ticking away here.
Yeah, Australia will be more than happy with that. This is all eating up the last few seconds of this game.
Well, if this one doesn't go to hand, Australia just about come away with it, and Penatani reaching for the sky there. Where's that ball? Where's that ball? Penalty, they got to tap and go. They got to tap and go. Anything left for New Zealand? Not back 10. Portia Woodman, off you go on your own. See what you can do. 10 seconds. Well, that's going to be that. Even if they do score now, it's too late. Sarah Goss straight into contact. Still going. Sarah Goss. Oh, would you look at this? Could be trying the tournament right here. Just short. What about that? They're going to go wide. It's going to be too late. It will be New Zealand's try. Winiata crosses the line, but it is too little too late. Australia have done enough. New Zealand, well, the first half killed them really.
Yeah, you talked about the anger and frustration that made that Portia Woodman try. This time it was the frustration of Sarah Goss that made that New Zealand try. There was nothing going to stop her. Bumps off one tackle, shrugs off Shannon Parry. How often do people shrug off Shannon Parry? Shrugs off Emily Cherry. Finally they bring her down, but it's taken so many Australian players to stop her that there's nobody left to tackle Salika Winiata.
Well, in the end, there was only one try in and a conversion drifts wide, but New Zealand, too little too late for them. Australia have done 3 titles in a row, 3 tournaments in a row, and they are the champions here in Atlanta. You have to say, bar that England match today, we have deserving champions, 24 points to 90.
Yeah, you don't have to win every match in the weekend to win the tournament. Australia know that. They turn it on at the right time. They turned it on this evening. Some brilliant tries, beautifully orchestrated by Kaslik and Quirk and Cherry in the middle. Emma Tonegata has been so good for them all tournament as well.
Well, their work rate has been phenomenal over the course of the tournament, and even when you had those question marks after that England result, you wondered, have Australia spent their energy? Is this one going to be one too far for them? They answered emphatically and went unbeaten for the rest of the tournament. Jim Walsh has got to be a proud coach. Shannon Barry's got to be a very proud captain. And New Zealand, well, they will come back and fight for next weekend because, as you say, they've had some injury problems. I mean, Portia Woodman unavailable for a lot of yesterday as well. And we saw with her try what she's capable of.
Yeah, and because of the balance of the squad, they've not been able to play Woodman out in that wing position, which is clearly her best position, where she is clearly head and shoulders above most other players on the series. So she hasn't had the ball in space.
Back to Rosie. We need
to take nothing away from Australia.
Yeah, well, I mean, you look at Dominique Dutoy there in the picture. She's smiling, 18 years of age, and, you know, the future is bright for Australia. If they can churn out a few more like her, when the likes of Shannon Parry and Emily Cherry have to call it a day, who knows?
Well, you're talking about their experienced players. They're not exactly getting on. Charlotte Kaslik is 21. Alicia Quirk is 24. Emily Cherry, 23. They've got a good few years left in them yet, this team.
Well, we won't be writing their epitaph just yet, then.
I'll be on your right. Okay. Yeah, I'll just do that exactly.
Well, you can see tears in the squad there. I mean, 3 in a row. It takes a huge effort and a huge commitment and a hunger and desire. Let's talk about the psychological side of things as well in a minute's time. But these are the celebratory scenes, and nobody more happy than the Australian captain, Shannon Parry, is with Dallin.
What a physical game, one of the best we've witnessed in a final.
Definitely a very physical game out there in a battle, and credit to the Kiwis, they fought all the way to the end. It was a true test match there, Aussie and New Zealand rivalry, so very credit to the Kiwi girls and also to my girls, very proud of them.
Talk us through the feelings after going through the first game, after going down.
Yeah, it was a bit of a slow start for us, but you know, we kept building and we're all about the process, so just glad to get the trophy in the last dance.
Preparations looking good for the Olympics?
Yes, absolutely. We're about building momentum towards the Olympics, and that's what every team's charging for.
Shannon, a message to your family and friends back home.
To our family and friends back home, it's about 8 o'clock in Australia. We're so thankful for all your support, and just a quick message to the Bowen family, our thought and prayers are with you at this tough time.
All the best for next week and the rest of the series.
No worries, thank you.
Enjoy the win.
So, a look at the table as it stands then after 3 tournaments. Australia unbeaten, 60 points, and they are by far and away the team of the current season. New Zealand Well, they cement second place ahead of Canada. England in fourth place, and Colombia at the bottom with just one tournament and 1 point. Impressive from the Aussies. So the player of the final, the HSBC player of the final, is Charlotte Caslick. An incredible performance by her. Tries, assists, you name it, she's done it. And not just in the final, throughout the 2 days, over the course of the entire tournament here in Atlanta. Phenomenal talent, and what a player. Fully deserved. Smiles all around. The psychological side of things too, which is something I wanted to come back to, because, you know, to win 3 tournaments in a row, whatever about the physical effort they've put in, you've got to have the hunger and desire to do it.
Well, and the belief that you're going to win, and that's one thing that the Aussies have in absolute spades, isn't it? Other teams, had they lost the first match like Australia did yesterday, may not have had the belief to come back and win the tournament.
Well, if you're asking for the player of the tournament, there really could be only one winner. She is an Australian. She is a try-scoring machine, and Emma Tonigato deserves this accolade more than anybody else. An incredible performance over the last 2 days, including 5 tries in one match. You don't see that too often.
Yeah, not a bad tally for one match, is it? They look a bit uncomfortable, don't they? Emma Tonigato, Charlotte Caslick before her, taking the accolades as individuals. It's been a real team performance from Australia.
So Emma Tonigato takes the player of the tournament, the MVP, if you will, here in Atlanta. Caslick on the final, Tonigato over the 2 days, and Australia getting ready to go up and accept the cup for the Atlanta tournament. 10 in total for Tonigato. Landry and Scarrett, an incredible performance from her back in the England team, and I'm sure we'll see more in Langford from England's tallest and best strike runner. But all smiles for Australia, and it's the hard work, I suppose, to get to this stage. That's the bit we don't see, the hours and hours of gym work, of training on the pitch, to get themselves to this standard and to be the best team in the world. And that's what this bunch of players are. I mean, we think back to Dubai, even last season as well. They had kind of flagged that they were getting to this stage with some brilliant performances last season, but this season they have just dominated and taken that crown from New Zealand. The rivalry continues, but Australia have the bragging rights at the moment. And it'll be interesting to see how much this takes out of them ahead of Langford next week. That is Canada's home tournament. They'll be there or thereabouts. England as well, building some nice form. Don't write off the USA. Under Walker, first tournament for him in Atlanta here. They took the plate. And we will see them all again next week. So your HSBC Atlanta Sevens winners, Australia. Shannon Parry lifts the trophy, well, smiles all around there, and they just seem like a really close-knit bunch as well. You've got to have that, you've got to have the cohesion and the friendships as well as everything else.
That's right, and you could tell by the fact Emma Tonigato was a bit overcome by getting player of the tournament, but really didn't want the individual attention at all, did she? Much happier with her teammates around her, as every good rugby player is. They're a really good team, this Australian unit. They play so well together, look after each other so well. Another great result.
Smiles all round, and your champions once again in Atlanta, Australia. So this is how the table looks after 3 tournaments of the current season. Australia out on top with 60 points, ahead of New Zealand, Canada and England. We go to Canada and Langford next week, of course, and maybe the standings might change after that. You can be sure that Canada are going to do everything in their power to give the home crowd something to cheer about. Ireland, they've improved their position up to 12th, and Colombia 13, but closing the gap on Brazil and on Japan and Spain. But that's how it stands after 3 tournaments. We've had a wonderful time. We hope you have as well. Some brilliant rugby, and we hope for more of the same next week. Hopefully conditions will allow for that. It's been brilliant here. The hospitality, the fans, the players, and everyone involved. We thank you for your time. We hope you enjoyed it. We will see you next week in Langford. Don't miss it.
Oh my gosh, it's great. Do we have any more pens?
Oh, only one.
That's right.
One line.
That's right.
One line.
You win the tournament and you want 2 pens. And I know all these guys.
These are all ball boys?
These are all the ball boys.
Thank you very much, boys. Thank
And good luck in the Olympics.